metro area.
If you live in the East Valley, dial up 95.9 FM to listen in. Stream us live everywhere at 1580thefanatic.com.
Or download the 1580 The Fanatic Sports app from the App Store or the Google Play Store.
We are 1580 The Fanatic, your new home for sports.
From Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. 30 years ago, Phil Mickelson was a junior at Arizona State. He rolled into Augusta for his first Masters and finished as the low amateur. Of course, he went on to win the green jacket on 3 occasions. Lefty, now 50 years old, an icon of the game, and still putting in the time, even if he's a supreme long shot this week. Mickelson was on the practice range in the green for hours on Sunday.
I thought it went well. I feel like I'm playing well. I've got some good things going. I've made some progress, but I haven't played at the level I expect to recently. And I actually enjoy the challenge of getting my game back, because there's really nothing physically holding me back from playing at the highest level, but mentally I've got to be sharper, and I'm working on that. I'm enjoying the challenge of playing at the highest level.
Phil has not won since Pebble Beach in February 2019, but at 50, he could become the oldest major champion ever. Mickelson paired with Tommy Fleetwood and Scotty Scheffler. They tee off at 1:12 Eastern on Thursday. You're listening to coverage of the 2021 Masters on Westwood One.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's opponents on Man versus Train. At the crossing, we have Rick, a 175-pound frustrated man who's running late for work. And on the tracks, we have Bull, a 1 million-pound freight train that takes a mile to stop. Let's see who comes out on top.
You can't beat a train, so don't try. Stop. Trains can't. Paid for by NHTSA.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This update is sponsored by Grainger. Grainger has supplies and solutions for every industry. Visit Grainger.com. Tiger Woods certainly missed this week. Woods continues to recover at his home in Florida after his horrific crash in Los Angeles. The LA County Sheriff's Department releasing a report today that says Woods was driving 40 miles per hour over the speed limit when he hit the median. Tiger won the last springtime Masters in 2019. Dustin Johnson won the only fall Masters last November. DJ opens his title defense at 10:30 tomorrow morning. Lee Westwood and U.S. amateur champion Tyler Strafacci also in that group. DJ ranked #1 in the world. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down, because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He wants to be here. He's trying to be here. He's screaming at his router. He's yelling at those dirty Cox Communications, and he's angry. And as soon as he can be on the line, he will be on the line. But we do have Filthy Phil there in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. We've got you guys on the Summit Mail Medical text line, 888-368-1580. And boy, do we got a lot to talk about today. Many, many, many things have happened. A lot of them make me chuckle. A lot of them make me giggle. But so far, this one should make everybody happy. I'm just going to be the first to say, Phil, happy National Beer Day. Yes. Today is National Beer Day.
Happy National Beer Day. Hope it's a sudsy day outside with no shade.
That's all you want. It's not like you need a reason to drink these days, or even on a Wednesday, but a new survey for the holiday asked beer drinkers, how much do you drink in a week? And even though the most common answer was, oh, just a few, reality is probably more than that. But yeah, there's some people who really are going for it, though. 65% of beer drinkers have between 1 and 4 beers a week. 4% drink between 16 and 20 a week. That's 2 or 3 a day. That's definitely my neighbor. Like every night I hear him going out to the recycling bin. I hear like bottle after bottle after bottle.
Yeah.
5% drink 21 or more beers a week. That's between 3 and infinity per day. And the survey also found beer is the most popular drink people order at bars. That's because it's easy. People, oh, give me a beer. I'll have a beer. That's fine. I'll have a beer.
You know what? Call me crazy. I think everything tastes better in a glass bottle. Can you imagine popping open a cold orange juice or apple juice and just having it in a beer bottle?
Well, they do actually sell apple juice in a glass bottle. You know?
No.
There are,
yes, they do.
Those little round things.
Those are tremendous.
Yeah, I like liquid out of a bottle, but some things are better off the tap. It really just depends on what you're drinking, Phil. I get my orange juice out of a paper carton. Doesn't change it for me. Still tastes fine. I got no problem. Mr. Pringle says, too bad Phil couldn't be there instead of Randy. Are we going to start with that already, Mr. Pringle? Why are you so mean to Phil? What has Phil ever done to you? I know what he's done to us, but I don't know what he's specifically done to you.
I probably brought truth to one of his teams. Oh, maybe it was the Phoenix Suns. Maybe he's a real Phoenix Suns homer and his butt hurt about me telling the truth about him.
Truth? Guess what? Your truth does not equal the Phoenix Suns record as of late.
My truth.
Yeah, your truth sucks. Your truth does not equal reality. The Suns are kicking ass, taking names right now, 35-14. They play the Jazz tonight, and they will continue their ways of ass kicking. We sure hope, go Suns. But listen, that's not what's going on. Everybody today is talking about how Arizona finally came to their senses, and unfortunately, for ASU, I was hoping Sean Miller would be down there in Chalupaville forever. I was hoping he would always be there. They have fired him. Sweaty Sean has been sent down the driveway, and now people are saying that the next up, of course, it's going to be an assistant. Why does everybody think that just because you're an assistant on a good team, that automatically makes you a great head coach? Because they're saying that Gonzaga assistant coach Tommy Lloyd is the lead candidate for that job.
Yeah, proximity to greatness does not always merit greatness in and of itself.
Does Tommy Lloyd look like the kid from Deliverance all grown up?
Yes, he does.
Oh, does he too? He just like Few does?
No.
Oh.
I just wanted to make it seem like that was inherent.
Well, I mean, at least he'd have that going for him. Other names that have been brought up are Damon Stoudemire, Josh Pastner, Miles Simon, who is an assistant coach with the Lakers.
I even saw Luke Walton.
Mark Pope from BYU is up there. And of course, every time the Arizona Chalupas need a coach, Walton's name jumps up. And what's the other? They're probably trying to get that other kid,
Rob Gronkowski, to coach him.
That'd be about a Arizona kind of thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I was thinking
they would
more.
Lead the league or the college ranks in hype.
I was thinking about what did you say, Luke Walton or Bill Walton?
No, Luke.
Oh, the kid.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said Bill.
No, Bill would
no,
about unicorns.
Now you sound like Nixon. Just forget it.
I'm not a crook.
Indecoros says, nice call on the Phillies not being good this year too, Phil.
Oh, I'm sorry. All of what? 10? Are we even 10 games in? 10 games? 10
Good
games
cat.
and you're going to stake your claim in there? Jeez.
Good Cat says, na. Bye-bye, Sweaty Sean. Yeah, I like that. I like it when Arizona hurts, but actually this is probably for the best for them, especially everything that had been going on. But as an Arizona State University fan, I would have loved them to be in that muck and mire for a couple more years. Gila Ben Mike says, afternoon, gents. Got my first Fauci ouchie this morning. So far, so good. Not feeling zombie-like in any way. Get your shot, everybody.
God
but here's the thing.
Fauci ouchie name.
Your 5G is going to be amazing today. So enjoy that. And also, it's the second shot that people start to feel either a little bit crappy or maybe a little feverish or some symptoms. So the wise thing to do is always try to get your second shot on a Friday so you can just chill, watch some movies, sleep in late, wake up Saturday and be like, oh, yeah. So that's a little pro tip for you. Mr. Pringle says Sean Miller is rumored to be going to the pros where he won't get in trouble for paying players. Now, okay, can we be honest about something? Is Sean Miller a good basketball coach?
It depends. I mean, it's obviously comes from a biased opinion, but if you ask a lot of the kids who have been coached underneath him and the current,
what did he
players,
win?
What did he win?
Did he win a national championship?
No, he got
did
to a
he
couple
take
of
them
Elite
deep into the tournament since he's been there?
Yeah, he's gotten to a couple of Elite Eights.
Deep into the tournament. He got okay, so he did a couple of times get into the Elite Eights.
Yeah, man, where is it? But yes.
So I'm just trying to establish: is he a good coach, or is it just because he's Arizona's coach? He used to be.
Well, remember he cut his wheat or whatever the saying would be.
He cut his weed?
No, his wheat. Like hay.
Who has wheat? Who has wheat?
Well, they do down in Xavier, where Sean Miller came up from. He had served from them up until 2009. That's where he made his bones. That's the one I was thinking of. He made his bones as a head coach over there in Xavier.
And wheat was part of this?
Wheat was part of it. Do you even know where Xavier is? Do you know where Xavier is located?
Down there, over there, and by the side of the thing.
Yes, exactly, precisely.
What's your point?
He's been with them for 12 seasons. It's kind of hard in college basketball. He's led him to a couple Pac-12 championships. So he's certainly and the Pac-12 is better, much better in basketball than it is football, at least currently and during the tenure that Sean Miller's been there. So I think
Arizona will never be good at football.
No. The best that they came was correct me if I'm wrong. I think Nick Foles and Rob Gronkowski were on the same team, and that was about the maximum that they've been able to find success in their recent tenure. But Sean Miller, he leads the league in sweat. He certainly has a lot of effort, and a lot of his guys love to play for him. I haven't heard that he's a good X's and O's coach. I've heard that he's more that of the mold of an inspirational, great for college, great recruiter type of coach, but not really in the schematics and finer things that go into basketball coaching that would really translate to the NBA.
All right, so coming from a dirty background where he was a dirty cheater and he was paying the players and stuff like that, the NBA, are they looking at him like somebody who matters, or are they looking at him like, okay, sweaty, well, that was nice. That's the end of your career.
I don't know. I mean, a guy who goes 302 and 109 in 12 seasons for U of A, I don't know how impressive that is, to be completely honest with you. Whenever we look at college head coaches, I thought Billy Donovan was a much better prospect in that regard for coaching than Sean Miller is. He's never really struck me as if you think of a team that really matters to you and you say, if he's my coach, do I feel better about it? Do I think that it's an upgrade? I can't really tell you a lot of coaches who I feel it would be an upgrade over for Sean Miller to replace them as a head coach.
Yeah. Well, whatever the case, I wonder how long it'll be before we hear the name of the new head coach of Arizona, because I figured they have a plan. Arizona has been sitting on a guy they could have fired a long time ago. And I think they were waiting until they had their plans completely cemented and figured out. I would almost tell you that they have that next head coach in some sort of an agreement off the public, because they didn't want to fire Sweaty Sean until they have the next contestant on the Arizona Sucks. 888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says, as a fellow Mountain Dew lover, Jeffrey, do you find that a cold 12-ounce can of Dew tastes just like a little bit better than other forms? I've always found it to be more crisp and refreshing. Yeah, I do. There's some sodas that taste better from the tap, and some sodas that taste better from a can. And if Pepsi products seem to taste better from a can, Coke products seem to taste better coming from the fountain. That's just my opinion.
Well, unless
I'm entitled to it.
Yeah, unless you're getting it from Mexico, then it comes better anywhere. Because Mexico, Coke is delicious.
Yeah, because they use the different sugar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they use a different sugar and a whole lot more of it.
Good Cat says, as a Wildcat fan, the stupid AD and president will not listen to the fans and boosters and go with an alumni. Let me ask you a question, Good Cat. Why do you need an alumni? Why do you feel like that's going to make your team better? Because that is always the thing that Arizona starts to scream for when these things happen, whether it's football or basketball. What about an alumni makes them better for the job? Blissful Hayes says Book Richardson deserves to be the next Arizona head basketball coach. He pays the recruits the most money, so he knows how to get things done.
Well, it could be
Okay.
argued that for the most part in college basketball, this was the first year where in a while that a program really won over talent. This was the first year that we'd seen in a while where the blue bloods had really fallen out of reverence and places in the tournament, except for maybe UCLA. But even then, they don't really have a real big class of recruitment for the NBA as far as prospects go.
Indecorus says, cut his teeth. Geez, Phil. Yeah, it turns out I didn't see these texts because we were finished with the show, but I guess somebody was having a drinking game for every time you said, geez, Louise. And you were up to 3 times
I know.
of saying it, and people were about to get really drunk.
Yeah, I wanted to.
I didn't realize that was one of your things, geez, Louise. I mean, he only says that, I think, when he's good and frustrated with me and Randy.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And plus, trust me, off camera, I can swear with the best of them. But you need those substitutions, those bench players, in order to come in for whenever you're on the radio.
King Kenton says Sean Miller is a jerk. What's up, guys? I took the afternoon off to get appliance service at home, so yes, I have been drinking. Good on you, King Kittens. It is National Beer Day. Helaman Mike says Tucson's a much drier place this afternoon. Maybe they'll hire a less sweaty guy who won't cheat. I always wondered if Miller was flop sweating because he was always worried about getting caught. Could be. It could be. When people are guilty of something, their body betrays them. And he was sweaty enough for 3 cheaters. Large Marge says, my question is, will the new U of A coach be given as much money to buy players? See, here's the common misperception. They don't get the money to pay players directly. The shoe companies or whoever is trying
There's always a
to
middleman.
show interest in these things. They're the money people. The broker is the coach, but they never touch the money. As you can see, yes, there's people on tape saying he's a dirty son bitch, but there's no direct evidence on that, or else the FBI would have had him in silver bracelets already. So, yeah. So as far as what the next coach is going to do, who knows? Have no idea. There's no way you can predict what the people of Tucson are going to do at any given moment. Because have you seen their freeways? They're free. I drive through Tucson on occasion. I don't stop because every time I've tried to stop, my wife is like, let's pull off and find a restaurant and get something to eat. I get off the freeway. I get off the freeway and it's scary. And I get right back on the freeway. There's no nice part of Tucson I have been able to find just jumping off the freeway to find a nice place to eat. And no, my wife don't eat KFC.
No, it's usually always KFC is the only place that's available. But if not there, Bun Huggers is a great place up there. That's the one place.
Whatever you're trying to get me to go to, I'm not doing, Phil.
No, it's Bun Huggers.
That sounds like the kind of place that you would send me to, so I'd have another experience like Pinkerton's back in the day.
No. It's a hamburger place. It's actually quite good.
Sure it is.
Bun Huggers.
I ain't going
Check
off
'em
the
out.
freeway very far unless that place is legit. And even then, my wife, she doesn't like to get off the freeway for burgers. She'll get off the freeway for like Chipotle, something healthy, or some really great Thai food or Mexican food. So if somebody can give me a good recommendation that's just barely off the freeway, because I swear to God, I don't want to go any deeper into that hellhole called Tucson at any given moment. But if anybody has some good recommendations, I'll take them. But I know you bastards. You're going to give me some bad recommendations and get me into a kind of neighborhood where I don't come out again. So
Right, because once you start eating there, then you're forced to stay there with the repercussions that your stomach will have.
I was thinking more that I was going to get carjacked, abducted. It's Tucson, Phil. It's Tucson.
Well, while you're dealing with your problems in the bathroom, somebody jacks your car. It's all one. It's a cycle. It's a never-ending cycle, Jeffrey.
Yeah, so I forget it. I'm not getting off the freeway in Tucson. Good Cat says recruiting because they know people. A big name is why he wants an alumni. More connection with the kids, and they tend to know the game. Really?
But
So,
you don't,
okay,
but you
well,
don't
you want this magical unicorn of an alumni who can coach, who has a connection with the kids and knows the game. So give us some names, Good Cat.
But you don't
You got any-
exclusively get that with an alumni. You can find a great coach who connects with the fan base, who connects with the recruits. Because remember, just because they're an alumni of U of A doesn't mean that potential recruits are only going to be taking an alumni from here or there. Otherwise, why would anybody have any form of movement in coaching ranks?
Ooh, we're a little early for a break, but you remind me I need to have a movement. 888-368-1580. So, yeah, you're right, Blissful Hayes. Both Sean Miller and his brother Archie Miller lost their college basketball and head coaching jobs within a month of each other. It runs in the family. By the way, did Archie Miller sweat too?
I'm not sure. I don't think it was genetic. I think it just I think maybe Archie lost his sweat gene to Sean, and then that's why it was hyperactive.
Boomer Sooner says, National Beer Day. Yes, pour me a 16 ounce of ice cold Sapporo, please. And I've never liked Miller, he says. It looks shady, and he's wet all over all the time. Yeah, he always looks like he just came in out of a rainstorm, like John Cusack in every movie he's ever been in, where he's standing around in like a tie and a white shirt, just all sweaty. Mile High Guy says, got my second vaccine yesterday, played some golf, smoked a cigar, had some beers, felt great, no side effects at all. Mile High Guy, I think maybe you weren't supposed to be drinking the beers. I think the rest of that might have been okay. Did they even give you any of the rules on that?
Did they not sit you down and say, hey, while we're rubbing your arm with some alcohol here's things to do and don't do?
Yeah, you put the alcohol on the outside of where they put the vaccination, not the inside. Baker's Cocky Hen says, Mike Bibby.
Oh, no, he's really jacked. I don't know how he does with X's and O's and schematics.
Good Cat says, Jason Terry, Luke Walton, Miles Simon, Damon Stoudemire, Josh Pastner, Richard Jefferson, Steve Kerr, Richard Jefferson. You really think you're going to get Steve Kerr? And really, what? Luke Walton ain't coming back to college unless he's about to get his ass fired.
He might.
Damon Stoudemire is one of the names people are talking about. Georgia Tech's Josh Pastner, one of the people are talking about. Jason Terry.
I even like Jason Terry. I like him. He might be. I don't know necessarily how well he knows the game, but as long as he's a name, and he certainly is, that can certainly appeal to some recruits.
King Kenton says, Jeffrey, unless the Fanatic is changing dial positions, nobody wants to hear about your movements. Tough. Good Cat says, Sean Elliott. Wait, the actor? The guy who talks like this.
Sean Connery.
Sean Elliott. No, well, that's Sam Elliott. So, okay, I got the guy wrong. All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll keep this going, but also talk about the disclosure of the police department on what caused Tiger Woods' accident. And now that I've heard it, I'm thinking somebody's being too easy on Tiger. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
From Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. Last fall, when Sebastian Munoz made his debut here, he was paired with Jon Rahm on Sunday and finished in the top 20. After his final putt, Rahm told Munoz, anything you learn this week, forget it, because this course will never play like this again. So forget about soft, forgiving greens. With the tournament back in the spring, it's like everyone is putting on glass again. And 2018 Masters champion Patrick Reed welcomes that.
Yeah, the golf course is firming up nicely. I was here last week, a couple of days, and it is the week before you always expect it to be a little softer. And when I got here Sunday night and was on property Monday, you could already start to see the greens starting to brown out. They're getting some firm bounces in certain areas, and it's what we want. We want this golf course playing firm and fast, and with really tough pins, because that's what we expect. We expect this place to play hard, and we expect it to be a mental and physical grind.
Reed tied for 10th here in November. He does have a win this season at Torrey Pines in late January. Reed's in a group with Daniel Berger and Paul Casey. They tee off at 10:54 local time tomorrow morning. You're listening to coverage of the 2021 Masters on Westwood One.
I am Robert Strickler. My wife Joyce and I have been married for 53 years. Certainly one of the really important things in my life are our children and our grandchildren. I'm essentially a writer. I've been involved in communications in the media. I've been an avid fly fisherman for at least 40 or more years. I've been taking Prevagen on a regular basis for at least 8 years. For me, the greatest benefit over the years has been that Prevagen seems to help me recall things and also think more clearly, have a crisper ability to remember and think through things. And I enthusiastically recommend Prevagen. It has helped me an awful lot.
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life. Robert Strickler is a content contributor for Prevagen and real user. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This update is sponsored by Prevagen. Prevagen is the most recommended memory support brand by pharmacists. Dustin Johnson hosted his Champions Dinner that featured smoked kielbasa in puff pastry, essentially fancy pigs in a blanket. Now DJ sets out to defend his title 5 months after he won his first Masters and second major. Johnson hasn't exactly been blazing through the PGA Tour this season, just one top 10 in 5 events since the calendar turned to 2021. That was a tie for 8th at Riviera in February. Johnson tied for 48th at the Players a few weeks back. DJ tees off at 10:30 Eastern Thursday morning with Lee Westwood and Tyler Strafacci. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich.
The Suns are entering the second half of the NBA season.
Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay with us as the Suns get set to shine.
How will they fare down the stretch? Do they have what it takes to win the playoffs? If it's sports, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Arizona's new home for sports.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And I forgot all about that. That's right. We've got the Masters update a couple times an hour while they're out there doing their stuff. You'll get updates here on 1580, The Fanatic. Then at 7 o'clock tonight, you got Masters tonight. We'll sort of recap stuff. Of course, today, they're just getting ready for the tournament, which really starts tomorrow. And so every night, 7 p.m., through Sunday, you will have your nightly Masters Tonight show giving you a recap of everything that has gone on. One of the things that I don't understand about the game of golf is how do you keep track of all these guys? There's hundreds of them. How do you know who anybody is out there? Because I can't hardly keep track of my own kids. I'll come downstairs and start calling everybody by the wrong name, some names they've never even heard of. And yet I got to sit there and look at a sheet and know what every one of these golfers does, and what their moods are. I mean, I keep track of all the football players that matter, but not all of them. I can't tell you everybody who's on an O line or a D line or who cornerbacks and safeties are unless they're like a rock star at it. So they got to keep track of all these damn golfers. Nobody can do that. Nobody.
Well, keep in mind that even though you don't know everybody in football, I would say that I would know a fair amount of starters on a roster at any given point in time and year. So I think if you know
rock stars,
the rock stars. So I think if you know at the very least the stars of golf, and then you go to a secondary, the people who just qualified and are looking promising to be rising stars, maybe a Phil Mickelson here or there who kind of toes the line of a star versus a person who's kind of a legacy play, and other people who fit that mold, who are older but still go around in golf and are still viable candidates to win it all. I think that eventually it adds up, and the majority of the field.
I only have so much room in my memory banks for so many things.
Much RAM.
No, seriously. I mean, here's what happened when I was in high school. I took trigonometry and the calculus. I passed them both, and then I purposefully forgot every single thing about it because I knew I would probably never need to know that again in my life. Now, anytime I've needed it, it seems to have popped back up, but I haven't really needed it. I mean, seriously, in radio, what do I got to do? I count backwards by 60. That's what I do. That's all I need to worry about. So I purposely shoved all that out of my mind. So now I've got a lot of football players. I got a lot of basketball players. I got some baseball players, but really, golf, I don't hundreds of players. I just don't have room for that. And I don't know how anybody can.
And to know their swinging style, to know how they survey, do they have which trainers they have? Oh, that's another thing. To have the training game, who's their caddy, all this stuff. My gosh.
Yeah. So I know some golfer names, but I'll be honest, I don't know anything about it. Are they really? I heard them in that Masters update talking about the Phil Mickelson, well, if he wins this, is he really playing at a level that will get him the Masters?
I think if he were to win another Masters, it would be a fantastic and spectacular feat that not a single person would have ever saw coming.
Yeah, because Tiger Woods came into that Masters. You could tell he was focused. He had a chance, and he
did well in the previous tournaments. He did
Right.
well leading up to that one.
Phil, not so much. Not so much. In fact, so much so they were talking about him leaving,
Retiring,
and
yeah.
becoming a commentator. So, Good Cat texts in on the Summit Mail Medical text line 888-368-1580.
Why doesn't he go?
Where's Randy?
Oh.
What?
I was just gonna say, why doesn't Phil Mickelson just go dominate the senior tour? If it was me and I at
You
the
just heard me do this whole build-up to read Good
I know,
Cat's
I
text,
know.
and
It
then
was
you just jumped all over it.
well, it's Good Cat, and I
You
know
need to apologize to Good Cat,
I
even
don't-
though he is a U Arizona guy. He's the one we actually like.
okay, he's having a bad day, and for that I will say I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Good
Oh
Cat.
no, he's thrilled about it. I think he's happy that Sweaty Sean is gone.
You think
He-
so?
Well, he's the one who came in singing "na na 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 hey 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 goodbye" to
That's
Sweaty
true.
Sean.
But is that a true truly emblematic of how U of A feels today, or is that just Good Cat? Because remember, he's the lone good one that we like. So therefore,
We've chased away quite a few U
Sure.
Arizona fans,
I
but
bel-
okay, I'll bite Phil. U Arizona fans. Now you have to be a U Arizona fan and get on the text line and tell me good thing, bad thing that they fired Sweaty Sean. Only you Arizona people. I know we got a handful that I haven't been able to piss off and make leave. So you guys want to tell us your thoughts on the firing of Sweaty Sean Miller? Go ahead and jump on in. Good Cat says Sean Elliott, San Antonio Spurs guy, multiple world championships, played with Duncan and the Admiral. So you're not Sam Elliott, the actor? Okay. Good Cat says, I'm excited he's gone. By the way, where's Randy? Oh, Randy's internet died. Cox Communications went on him, and he'll be back in as fast
his
as he
cock
can get in.
signal went limp.
So Good Cat says, all my friends and fellow alumni are excited to see him go.
Wow, I'm really shocked because I
why?
think I think the best indicator of whether or not a firing of a coach is warranted and good or not.
Phil, he did the unthinkable. It wasn't that he paid players. It's that he got caught. And because of what happened, they were not allowed to go to the NCAA tournament. They were playing for nothing this season, and it cost them in recruiting, and it cost them, probably some alumni money at the same time. So, yeah, Sweaty Sean had to go, and I think that's why a lot of these guys are happy to see him.
But I understand that. I think with all of his troubles and the complete stain on his resume that this is and will continue to be and haunt him, I think it's completely justified that when it starts to affect recruiting and your ability to get into championship contention, of course I understand why. But I still say, just as a coach, just as a person, just as a recruiter, I think if you're looking around and you're the rival program as an ASU alum, I think that I'm kind of happy to see him be fired because I was somewhat worried under his tenure about facing the U of A basketball program whenever we did. That's just my personal thought, and I think that's a fair way to judge it.
888-368-1580. And you know what? I have been there. Now I remember, I think my wife and I actually went there, Gila Ben Mike. He says, I don't know how far off the freeway is, but it used to be a place called Micah's that made the best chimichangas you ever had. I am a fan of the chimichanga. So yeah, I do. I looked it up while Phil was talking there, and I saw what Micah's looks like, and I think I've been there. Jagdog says, glad to see Miller go. It's time to move on.
Wow.
I didn't know Jagdog was a U Arizona fan.
Well, if he's probably closeted because of the show and the format, it's understandable.
Indecorus says, good Cat's right. Most of them are happy. My Mr. Hyperhidrosis is gone. That means super sweaty. Boomer Sooner says, crap. Shut up, Phil.
Just in general, or what?
I don't know. It's 2 minutes ago, so it had to be in something you were just saying. Baker's Cocky Hen says, look, Bibby was taking his high school team to numerous championships before it was derailed over a sequel assault allegation that did not amount to anything other than being fired. I'm pretty sure you meant sexual. unless he beat the hell out of somebody and then the next year beat the hell out of him in a very similar but not quite as interesting way. He's a great coach and would recruit Phoenix area well. Bring Bibby to ASU, he says. Well, I don't know. I don't want a guy around who's under suspicion for sequel assault. King of Kitten says, Randy, big glass of ice water, please. It's a hot day. Too much beer is not a good idea sometimes. Well, Phil's got to pour that for you because Randy got knocked off the internets. Hopefully he'll be back soon. I think he might also just be taking National Beer Day off.
Is he faking it?
Could be. Oh. Could be. Jagdog says, I'm a U of Arizona supporter, but I am not a fan. I don't understand that. Why would you support them if you're not a fan? You have a child there?
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet that's what it is. An ASU Sun Devil who has a child who at U of A. That's what that's the route.
Yeah, that almost happened to Random Texter. The Raven Kid was thinking about schools. He had been accepted to Arizona State University, and Grand Canyon, and he decided to go Grand Canyon. So I listen. He could have got that right 2 out of 3 ways. So we were very proud of him, and Random Texter got to sigh a very proud sigh of relief after that. Kiss the Cook says best chimney hands down is Carambas. I don't know where that is.
Better than Carrabba's. I bet Carrabba's chimichanga is not good.
Well, so there's a Caramba and a Carrabba. What does Caramba mean, I wonder?
Caramba.
Blissful Hayes says, I believe Arizona would have kept Sweaty Betty, Sean, had he gotten the Wildcats back to the Elite Eight.
Well,
it's all about winning.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get them back to the Elite Eight when they can't contend this year. But yes, self-imposed sanction. Yeah, sure.
Good Cat says, why aren't we excited? We needed to move on and try to find someone who can take us farther than the stupid Elite Eight.
Stupid Elite Eight.
ASU is like Ferris Bueller in the movie saying, listen, I don't have my own piece of crap car. I got to worship your piece of crap. So we have to worship your piece of crap Elite Eight. Jagdog says, Randy or Phil, somebody, can I get a crown on the rocks, please?
Absolutely.
Are you sure you want a crown on the rocks when you could have a beer on National Beer Day? I mean, do you. You do you. The Berg says, ha, suck it, Tucson. Berg. Oh, Berg.
At least he's no longer the angry Berg, right?
I totally agree. Berg. Yeah. No, he's not Evil Berg anymore. Boomer Sooner says, Phil needs to stop trying to use big and fancy words. Stick to knowing sports, Phil. You sound too much. You sound much better in the fourth dimension. Well, see, here's the thing about Phil. That's just his personality. He's not using big fancy words. If those are big fancy words, you need to spend some time in a thesaurus. Because Phil, the words Phil uses remind me of like the 20s and the 30s. This is like he's born at the wrong time kind of guy. If you listen to Phil, you don't see that Phil looks like basically an amoeba with hair. You realize he's very young, but he's an old soul. He uses words like dag nabbit and weird terms.
Jeez
and
Louise,
stuff.
yeah.
Jeez Louise and stuff like that. Were you brought up by your grandparents?
No, but I did. My grandma was very instrumental towards my growth.
There you go. So he's not necessarily using big words. You're just used to hearing small words from other radio stations. That's a small right. 888-368-1580. Kiss the Cook says, Randy got knocked off. Oh, poor Randy.
No, not like that. Well, no, stop it. Stop it. Not this.
Randy, cut down in the prime of his internet.
Oh, come on. The man's cox is down and you're going to kick a man while his cox is not strong and tethered.
Just wanted to be on the show and it's gone too soon. Randy White.
I'm sorry,
2021.
Randy. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to prevent this.
I just want him to know how it feels for all the times he did that in the past. Large Marge says, Happy Beer Day. You guys sure Randy's absence has nothing to do with that? No, I don't. I have nothing to do with that. And he says, you know what? The only Miller I've ever liked was called Light. Wow. Why do you hate your mouth? But hey, I get you. It's a play on words. Sean Miller, Miller Light. All right. Fantastic. All right. So Sweaty Sean is gone. And Tiger Woods is recovering. Now, here's what came out today. I'm sure you heard the news. The sheriff said Villanueva says All right, so here's what happened. The excessive speed is what caused his crash. Really? I mean, excessive speed just showed up and took over for Tiger Woods. Let me ask you a question. If I was going 40 miles an hour over the speed limit, do you think I would just get off with a warning?
Absolutely not.
If I wrecked my car, here's what happens. Here's what did they cite him? Did they charge him with anything? Because here's what you
No
get
traffic
cited for.
citations were issued.
All right, so that's boo-boo, because I don't care who he is. Failure to control your vehicle, that is one guaranteed ticket he deserves. And two, excessive speed. And if your excessive speed led to your failure to control your vehicle, well, why the hell was number 3 not even dealt with? Why did they not subpoena a blood test to see why was he going that fast? Why did he lose control? And he conveniently has no memory. Now, listen, I like Tiger Woods. I'm not trying to go get Tiger Woods, but it seems like the sheriff department is doing their best to just completely let him off the hook. Is it because of the proximity to the golf course? Why are they letting him? Is it just because he's that damn famous? He gets away with everything?
I don't know. Remember, Villanueva, he faced like criticism weeks for his comments about the crash. Remember, he called it purely an accident and saying there was no evidence of impairment and pushed back Wednesday.
Okay. So if there's no evidence of impairment, then why is he not being held accountable for going 40 miles over the speed limit and losing control of his car? He could have killed somebody.
Yeah.
Beyond even himself.
Yeah. The Villanueva said that when he asked about special treatment for the golf star, quote, that is absolutely false. I think it absolutely is.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so if I did the exact same thing, you would have known the details before the end of the day. I absolutely would know, because I ain't famous. So you would have known whatever the reason was. You would have known the speed that I did it at. You would have known every single detail along the way. It happens every day here in Phoenix. You hear about these wrecks, and you got the traffic reporters, and if there's something really heinous, it shows up on the news. And just because he's Tiger Woods, the sheriff's department is protecting him, shielding him. And that's not what they're there to do. They're not supposed to be there to do that. They're supposed to be there to protect the public interest. And part of that interest, it should be done while treating all of us equally, all of us the same. So all of a sudden, they are clamping down in the privacy. We don't have privacy for Tiger. Seriously? He was by itself driving 40 miles over the speed limit. They take, that's a felony speed.
Yeah,
they
84
take
to
away your
87
license.
miles per hour on a winding road.
They pull me or Phil out of the car and they put their foot on the back of our neck until backup shows up with a gun at our head. That is what sometimes happened at a felony stop. So that was a felony speed. And then he lost control, failure to control the vehicle. Now, what about led to that? What about what led to that? Was he on the opioids? Was he just raging because he was late for something? Which, by the way, he was late for something and he was agitated. Or was there more to this? I think that if you're going to hold the rest of us to that standard, you got to hold Tiger Woods to that as well. All that I've said, you have to remember, I like Tiger Woods. He's a flawed human being, beyond flawed, but we all need to be treated the same. Let's take a break. We'll come back. More of the Daily Blender after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Coins and precious metals never sounded so good.
Save for your future during a time of uncertain economy.
Across the globe, two of the most heavily traded and most popular commodities for investments are gold and silver. Arbitrage opportunities exist in precious metals trading, and First National Bullion in Scottsdale can help with all the answers on today's gold and silver markets and the investment opportunities, including information on precious metals arbitrage trading. Call First National Bullion at 480-923-9899, 480-923-9899, online at firstingold.com. Spelled out FIRSTINGOLD.com. Firstingold.com.
First National Bullion, 480-923-9899.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Listen, when we're all working on our shows here at The Fanatic, we're totally focused and we don't want to worry about the other things. You know, like the technology that runs our station. That's where Affinity Technology comes in. They run all our IT so we can focus on what really matters, our business and our listeners. These guys handle literally everything. If it plugs in, they work with it. They've saved us tons of money and they've kept us focused on what really matters. Affinity Technology, they can do the same for you. Go to atechaz.com. Be sure and tell them I sent you.
Pack your bags for an amazing trip. And our resort. A short walk away from shopping and fine dining. No. Let's try this again. Honey, I booked the vacation of our dreams. No. Getaway. Yes. Okay, honey, I booked the getaway of our...
Hey, sweetie, I'm home.
Oh, here it goes. Hey, hon, I got a surprise for you.
No matter how you say it, your luxury oasis is just a short drive away to Hermosa Beach, California. Relax in one of Hermosa Oasis's beautifully appointed apartment home retreats. Take in our ocean breezes, panoramic sunset views, or stroll along 20 miles of oceanfront strand. All of our beach homes offer fully equipped kitchens, crisp linens, plus beach towels, chairs, and umbrellas, along with cable TVs and wireless internet throughout the home and oceanfront patio. You don't have to wait until summer to bask in the warmth of the California sun. Visit hermosaoasis.com. That's hermosaoasis.com. Save extra with off-season rates. Now anytime is a great time to get away. Visit hermosaoasis.com.
ADOT presents Terrifying Jobs. High-flying lineman, take 3.
Today, we're talking with Josh Kuhn, an SRP lineman. His job is to be dropped onto electrical transmission towers via helicopter and do maintenance. Josh, this is an absolutely terrifying job. Why do you do it?
It's a very demanding job, but very rewarding.
How much energy are you actually working with up there?
500,000 volts of electricity.
It's definitely not my line of work. Does anything shock you?
Yeah, distracted drivers, terrifying.
This message is brought to you by ADOT, the ABA, and this station.
The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. You can hear us on 99.3 FM, 95.9 FM in the East Valley, always at 1580thefanatic.com. You can get your app there for your phone. You can stream it live directly from the site. You can listen to podcasts. Anything you need is right there at 1580thefanatic.com. Okay, that's enough of the dance party, Phil. This is you and me here. It's weird when you just I don't dance with the dudes, so you're on your own.
Yeah, so, I'm still. I can bring it up.
No, just go ahead and turn that off. That's fine. That you can just dance on your own time, kid. Chief Skull's burner phone says, Jeffrey, I agree with your thoughts on Tiger. Unfortunately, we live in a it's not what you know, it's who you know kind of world, and because of that, there's no such thing as fairness in society. Well, yeah, I'm not looking for fairness. I'm looking, anybody always says, not fair. I'm not that guy, but I am saying there should be some equality in how the information is treated. There should be equality in how, I guess, equality could equal fairness. I hear you, Chief Skull, but I just don't like that law enforcement is approaching this differently than it would have approached anybody else. Wildcat Harvey says if Woods was black, he would have gotten a ticket.
Oh, God.
Boogie says, Jeffrey, just stare into his eyes as Filthy Phil plays the funky electronics.
This is true.
Yeah, no. Chief Skull's burner says, Jeffrey, I agree with your. Oh, I read that. Heelbin Mike says, I've always prided myself on my vocabulary. I've been told many times by family, friends, and fellow employees that I make them feel stupid. And I always tell them it's never my intent. So it seems they make themselves feel that way.
Yeah, I speaking for myself, it's more out of an appreciation for literature and the spoken word. I just happen to enjoy, especially reading a lot when I was a kid. It's not out of wanting to make myself seem
You're
smart.
one goatee away from being called a hipster.
Ooh, you think so?
Just saying.
Well, and like one little ponytail, not like a huge ponytail, like
a little rat
James.
tail.
Yeah, just like the little one that just
You can get a clip on. You don't even need to.
No.
Miss Pringle says, are you insinuating that Tiger is enjoying his
You can't even read the rest of it, can you?
No. Felicity Hayes says, Jeffrey, this isn't anything new. Celebrity gets preferential treatment in America. Shouldn't. It just shouldn't. Listen, I get it if, little things.
I had a
but not
question.
something like this. This was crazy.
Do you think it wasn't preferential treatment as much as it was fear and how bad of a look it would be? Obviously, the
Fear of what?
Well, the police have not had a good couple of
If they
months.
could resist the urge to beat the bleep out of him, I'm sure they could have gotten through this just fine.
I'm just
And
saying.
it's all we need is for the police not to beat the living bleep out of everybody and kill people, and then we can go ahead about administering law in a good way. And in this case, here's why I think he's getting the preferential treatment. And I'd like to give Villanueva and the sheriff's department their benefit of the doubt. And it's based on this. He didn't hurt anybody but himself.
Yeah, that's where I think the big crux of the issue is.
Had there been some major property damage of somebody else's, had there been anybody else hurt, then they would have had no choice but to come at him in a regular way. So celebrity got him off the hook because nobody else was harmed.
I'm curious.
And it's like, all right, fine, but then do the same thing for me. If
Sure.
I a bumblebee in the car, and I crash, do the same thing for me if nobody else is hurt.
Sure. I do. Yeah, it's interesting thinking that 87 to 85 miles per hour on a winding road, and he just walks away. I can understand the hesitation to when a
That
guy.
Genesis is a hell of a car.
Yeah, no kidding. The fact that he only escaped with career-threatening injuries is really a testament to the car itself.
If he walks away from those injuries and does come back and golf again, it just goes to my point. You do not have to be an athlete to golf and golf well. Because look at John Daly. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. And who's the best golfers that you know in your personal life? Old folks. Why? The only ones that have enough time to practice and do it. But it also proves you don't have to be. I mean, I get it. DeChambeau's out there doing the Happy Gilmore. And by the way, how much crack cocaine was he on in that video? Have you seen the video of him on the driving range?
No.
Oh my God. It's like somebody just gave him some bad news and he is angry.
Should I pull it up?
That ball owes him money the way he's beaten on that thing. Yeah. Well, go ahead. We're not going to listen to the audio, but if you want to go find the video, do that at the break or something. But it's odd how angry he is, and how it just doesn't even look like a powerful swing. It looks like somebody who's lost their mind. Does he do that every time? It was just weird. Large Marge says Tiger got in more trouble for the putter through his back window than the axe through his windshield. Kiss the Cook says bad for U of A to lose Sweaty Miller there. There were several transfer and top players weighing their decision on if he'd remain the coach, and many of the boosters, they did still want him to play and stay. I'm sorry. Good Cat says Tiger Woods is paying off the sheriffs like, Sean Miller paid the players. King of Kitten says, yeah, Phil, I want Miller Lite because Large Marge said so.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Boomer Sooner says, gone too soon. Peace, Randy. Gone too soon. And by the way, it's not how you spell Jeffrey. That's offensive to me, Boomer Sooner, that you spelled Jeffrey with a G-E-O and an E at the end of the name. You know how to spell my name. You know how to spell my name.
So
You
sorry,
miss
Randy. I'm so sorry for Randy. Gosh.
Jagdog says, Phil, latest CBS mock draft has Fields dropping to the Donkeys at number 9. Is he the missing piece you need to get back to the Super Bowl with? How do you feel about that, huh?
I would freaking love it. I don't see it happening in a lamb shake and a thimble, but I
Great.
love.
Jagdog says, ha 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 ha.
I'm not
Ha
sure.
ha 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 ha.
I'm not sure why he's.
Ha 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 ha. Ellipsis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it just okay. He's obviously laughing at the notion that Justin Fields would drop this low. I personally believe that there's not a chance whatsoever that the 49ers draft Mac Jones at number 3. I think it's all just a bit of matador where they're going to say, look, oh no, we love Mac Jones. He's our guy. We swear. Oh, look at him. He looks so great with all those Alabama players, just like we have up here in 49er territory. We love it, and they're just going to eventually draft either Trey. They're going to draft one of the other two guys with Justin Fields probably going there. I can't understand why he's being disparaged so badly. So I don't know why he could have possibly dropped to the Broncos at 9. Maybe if the Broncos trade up to 4, maybe that's how they get him. I don't know. But if Justin Fields lands in Denver, it's over. It's over. It's over. Super Bowl me now.
He was kidding. In the chorus says Tiger is driving that 7-seat family SUV like a 911 Porsche. Yeah, he was. You get to listen. I drive a vehicle that is naturally got a lot of torque and is very fast. And I find when I get into my wife's vehicle, I drive that the same way I drive the other vehicle. And I feel like I've improved it, but she gets mad. So yeah, you got to be careful. So vehicles do not all handle the same. Navy Brad says, I think once Tiger recovers, free golf lessons to those first responders at his crash site are in order. Well, that could be seen as a bribe. Josh says, are we sure that speed Tiger Woods wasn't trying to go back in time to 1985? That is very, very possible, but without a flux capacitor, it's not even in the cards. Blissful Hay says, how long does it take to restart a putter? Good point. Boomer Sooner says it's spell for me, Jeffrey. It's auto text does that. Well, who do you know in your life that spells it with a GEO? You need to get rid of that person.
Well, that's English. That's the English version.
Well, my name is spelled Jeffrey.
And that's the
there's
Irish
no E at the end. Irish, and my parents were poor when I was a kid. We couldn't afford to get that extra vowel because Pat Sajak is a cheap son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's like Jeffrey versus Jeffrey.
I got a lot of anger. Baker's Cocky Hen says, sequel assault. That sounds like a Steven Seagal movie. Sweaty assault. That sounds like a Sean Miller movie. If Phil gets Fields, by the way, I will root for the Broncos to make the playoffs.
Whoa. Okay. Well, thank you. We'll take it.
Kiss the Cook says, Tigers killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Still attempt to break. Ha ha ha. I said break. Jack's records with Ben Hogan's body. Wow, that's a long way to go on that one. Boogie says, I think you guys should get some 1580 Fanatic t-shirts made up that says sure on the front. That's what Phil says every time he's waiting for you to finish a point that he disagrees with, or he's just not interested in listening to.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. That is one of his tells. That is absolutely. But if there's a drinking game on sure, too many people would have alcohol poisoning. What was the other one?
Jeez Louise.
That requires Randy or I to aggravate him, which probably happens at least once an hour. Yeah. King of Canton says, I drive my single cab short bed Dodge Ram like a sports car, and I pay extra at the pump because of my stupidity. Yeah, I have a crew cab, and it's a short bed, and I also do. I'm getting about 20 miles to a gallon right now.
Well, right now you're probably getting like 100 miles to a gallon because you're not going anywhere.
Well, no, that doesn't work that way. Once you drive it, you're going to get the gas.
Who between us has the trigonometry class in our college career?
I got an A in trigonometry and I got an A in calculus.
Well, that makes one of us, doesn't it, Jeffrey?
Yeah, it does make one of us. And I'm telling you right now, it's not how math works, Phil. Don't make me think about math. That pisses me off. Josh says the spelling of Jeffrey is the same as the Toys R Us giraffe. That's Joffrey. That's a different thing.
Joffrey.
Ugh. King of Kittens, 20. I get 13. Oh, miles per gallon. You got to be more because I forget stuff pretty easily.
Yeah, no, I was completely lost.
What year is your Dodge, buddy? 888-368-1580. I want to talk some Major League Baseball, but Randy, I kind of want him to be around because he's our resident expert, and it's really fun stuff. So I'm going to hold off on that in the hopes that maybe he's able to show up. So how about right now? I know you don't have the music for this, Phil, so don't worry about it, but I'm going to give you today's man law. Okay. Randy don't need this. Randy knows this. Yes, Phil, prepare to learn.
Yeah, perk up.
From Article 9, beer, because it is National Beer Day. Section 4, a man shall always toast with beer, cans or bottles, by clanking the bottom, must never toast with another man by clanking the top. Let me show you what I mean.
Yeah, there's
I got to use whiskey bottles, but you'll get the idea. So let's say these are 2 beer bottles.
Sure.
Men toast with the bottom clank. You never toast with the necks. That's girls do that. Men, the bottom, because you're like, hey, buddy, there you go. That's how you toast.
Yeah, that's what they call a power bottom, I believe.
Yeah. Ooh, no, I don't think that's what that means. But it just, why you got to make everything weird, Phil? Why can't you just clank on the bottom? Just say clank on the bottom. You don't clank on the top. You clank on the bottom.
I'm sure that's what they do too.
Oh, for the love of God. Anyway, so that's Article 9, Section 4 of beer. in the Constitution of the United States of America, a man shall always toast his beer by clanking on the bottom. Doesn't matter if it's a can or a bottle or a glass. Well, the glass, you might pour it out on yourself.
Right.
So the best way to go, if it's in a glass, you just do one that you don't clank. You just go, cheers, and you don't touch glasses.
There's already 2 sections or laws of man that have to do with beer. Do you think that there's a lot more?
No, there's Article 9 is all beer. There's like 20
I
beer
see.
man
I
laws.
see. I see. We're just going to, okay, cool.
Yeah, that was from Section 4. You got to remember, Section 4 is just each paragraph of actual law. The article is where it's contained. The section is each individual law.
I see.
So you spent too much time in a thesaurus, not enough time in the Constitution, son.
It's not published yet.
I mean, the original one. All right, hour 2 after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
From Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. Tyler Strafacci is reaping another reward from his victory in the U.S. Amateur Championship last summer in Oregon. The Georgia Tech senior earned an invitation to his first Masters.
This has already been the coolest experience of my life, just leading up to this tournament. I don't know how it can get better. I'm sure it's going to get better, but it's going to be so fun. I'm just hoping to make contact with that ball on the first tee and then just go compete. But I went up to DJ yesterday and just introduced myself. He was a very nice guy, very welcoming. And that was important for me to do. So I got on the first tee and I kind of know him a little bit. I didn't want to. My dad was like, you probably should go introduce yourself. And I was like, okay.
Strafacci is grouped with the defending champion, Dustin Johnson. Tyler's father, Frank Strafacci Jr., is his coach. His grandfather, Frank Sr., his inspiration. His story coming up. You're listening to coverage of the 2021 Masters on Westwood One.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
22-year-old Florida native Tyler Strafacci gears up for his first Masters, and he continues a family legacy started by his grandpa, Frank.
My grandfather came from nothing. He came from Italy and just built a great career, become a great amateur golfer. Played in 2 Masters, won the Pub Links, was finished 9th in the U.S. Open. So he had quite the unbelievable career coming from no money and kind of work. He was very inspirational. So just being in the Masters and playing the tournament that he did, it's a dream come true. It brings me closer to him. It's really cool.
Frank played in the 1938 and 1950 Masters, but he passed away before Tyler was born. For the second time, though, a grandfather-grandson duo will compete here. They join Tommy Armour and Tommy Armour III. Tyler Strafacci in a group with Dustin Johnson and Lee Westwood. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, buddy, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not along Randy White, not at least until Cox Communications gets their act together in his neighborhood where he is suffering a outage. Could be National Beer Day, could be actual legit outage. Well, I believe, my friend, I believe that it is true. So hopefully he'll be on. I'm saving the Major League Baseball stuff till he gets back because I know he'd love to talk about that. We got Filthy Phil there in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale, and you guys are on the Summit Mail Medical Text line, 888-368-1580. Blissful Hayes says, Filthy is weird, Jeffrey. Are you watching him on the YouTube? Is that where you're getting that? Or is that a general statement?
Is that did you just realize that right now?
Well, so here's the deal. Since I got put in the Facebook jail for a funny meme I put out, which had Jeffrey Dahmer in it, and I guess somebody got butthurt about, we have to stream the video of the Daily Blender through YouTube. And if you're watching on the YouTube, the links for it are up on our Facebook and our Twitter at 1580 The Fanatic. So that is where you can watch it. And when we were on break, I don't even look at the damn screen because Phil is dancing. Phil is doing sit-ups, push-ups, jumping jacks. Just things I don't need to see. And listen, I get it. Phil he's a health nut. He's constantly moving. He's got a lot of energy and, he's taking care of himself. So I have respect for that. I just wish it wasn't always on camera. So, but I just mind my own business, and my business is I got to get myself over to Valley Medical Weight Loss. I weighed myself before the show.
Oh, did you? Are you comfortable with saying what you did?
I have to be. Because I am going to go over to Valley Medical Weight Loss, get set up and start trying to lose this COVID weight. And be honest, not much of it's COVID. A lot of it's just 50.
Yeah.
But I am 221 pounds right now. I could not believe my eyes. Now, for the longest time, I've been at two. What the hell is that? I don't have a boner, Phil.
I was just saying maybe that's accounting for some extra weight.
How does that even make sense?
Well, I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt here.
Listen,
Jeffrey. We all know
it's
about
so
your
big
well
it drags
endowment.
bottom when I swim naked in the deep end, but that's not what this is about, Phil.
Okay.
I'm talking about the fact that I need to lose weight. Now, my cardiologist had told me years ago I need to be 185. Laughed my ass off. 190, 195 should be fine. I don't need to be as skinny as I used to be so skinny when I was Phil's age. I had a 29-inch waist.
Wow.
My Levi's were 29 inches on the waist. And then I started eating better and I got over it. And I was 32 inches in the waist for a long time. And now I'm 34 inches on the waist. So I don't care about, honestly, the measurements of my waist. I don't care about the pounds. I just want to feel better and I want to look better in my clothing.
Yeah, you're starting to feel a little clunky, starting to feel a little, worn down day to day, a little more lazy.
I wish I had time to be lazy. I always did wish I had that. I don't have time to be lazy, but what I don't have time for is to be tired. And one of the things I got to work out with Valley Medical Weight Loss is I need to maintain a certain level of energy. And I worry that being on any kind of a diet might bring my energy down. But I am told by Randy, by Mark Asher, by James at the station, by Radio Ron himself, all these guys say, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it because they will tailor make this weight loss journey for you and it'll work. So it's time. Especially now that COVID is starting to be at the other end, I got to start showing up for work, and I'd kind of like to look good in my clothes. I don't have to go buy a bunch of fat guy clothes.
Yeah, you know how Radio Ron, he judges each and every one of us when we walk in, and he's like, "Well,
Phil, if that were true, you wouldn't be here. Nobody's getting judged." But here, I don't want to. I found myself doing something I thought I would never do. I was actually scrolling through Tommy Bahama shirts.
Oh, you were going to go through the Hawaiian shirt guy. Yeah.
No, not Hawaiian shirt, but the comfort wear, 'cause I had one Tommy Bahama t-shirt in my closet. I don't even know where the hell it came from. I think it was a gift or something. It was very comfortable. And I thought, hey, I should have some comfortable shirts. And I was looking through it, $85 a shirt. Oh, the hell with this. So, yeah, I want to be back to looking like my normal self. So that's what I'm going to be doing, taking care of that. 888-368-1580. The last person on the planet who should be judging anybody, Chief says, I definitely judge y'all. Okay. When you put y'all at the end of your sentence, you are in a position to judge nobody my mulleted friend.
But hey, look out, Chief. I even commented today because we walked by in the office and I made a note. I was like, Chief, looking good. He had the whole highlighter theme going on today, and he's like,
highlighter?
Yeah, he had like highlighter yellow shorts going on and highlighter yellow, the matching highlighter yellow.
I thought you said he was looking good.
Well, what I'm saying is he had some brand new Rock shoes, Dwayne the Rock Johnson shoes, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna work out today."
You know what that tells me? We obviously pay him too much. 888-368-1580. Kiss the Cook says, I love getting called from solicitors when the blender's on. I just set the phone next to the radio and I listen to them yelling, hello, hello. It's even better if the timing is right when Randy is on one of his rants. Several times I've heard them, what the hell's going on? You know what? I love that. Thanks for that, Kiss the Cook. He says, also, Jeffrey, you and I have the identical problem. We're light eaters, constantly eating when it's light outside. Now, here's the thing. I don't eat badly, and I don't eat too much.
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Jellybean and M&M's over there.
The only time I do that is during the show to try to maintain some sugar rush energy for this.
Okay.
And my wife is very healthy. So she cooks very nicely, very well. And my problem is it tastes so good. I find myself going back for seconds when I really don't need to. And I've really got to learn to control that. So Valley Medical Weight Loss, I believe, is going to help me. So I'm looking forward to that.
You know what else you got to try are those what is it? Apple cider vinegar gummies. Like they're called Goli gummies. They are tremendous to curb the appetite.
Yeah, I know. Navy Brad says, Jeffrey, are you going for the Glenn Quagmire look? Giggity, giggity. No, I don't want a Hawaiian shirt. And listen, just because I went to the site doesn't mean I'm really actually going to do it. Large Marge says, this show has weight issues and problems with Cox. Fortunately, you've got the perfect sponsors, Summit Mail Medical and Valley Medical Weight Loss. Cheese Skulls Burner Phone says, Jeffrey, when you're 5'6", 221 pounds, that is bad, bad, bad. Well, I'm not 5'6". I'm actually 5'11", so it's not as bad. Here's what it is. All of my extremities look normal. I just have this little bowl of honey right here, like Winnie the Pooh, that if I were wearing that shirt, it'd be up like that too, and I'd be seeing my belly. I got a little bit of the bowling ball going here. So get rid of that, and I'm good. Baker's Cocky Hen says, Phil is awesome. Weird is much better than normal, which sadly has become stupid pretty quickly. I'll continue to talk crap to Phil, but it's out of love and respect. Truly it is.
It's out of love and respect. The love I get, but the respect, I think those are diametrically opposed. But thank you, Baker's Cocky Hen.
Blissful Hayes says, Jeffrey just said filthy was weird. Well, yeah, you just said that, and that's why I read that. You said it, so I read it. That didn't mean I said it. But here's the thing. Phil is weird.
Yeah.
And that's not a negative in my book. All my favorite people are weird.
Yeah. I find it to be a unique qualifier.
I don't trust shy, quiet, normal people.
Yeah, that's always with they were just a normal guy right before. And then he killed 227 gerbils in 5 days.
Yeah, it's that kind of person you got to worry about.
Yeah.
Good Cat says a man should never tap the top of another man's beer to make it foam up and force the other man to chug. That is alcohol abuse.
Yeah. Never tip your tops or top your tips.
Hillvin Mike says, why does Phil twist so many things back to the butt stuff? Why is that? Butt stuff? That reminds me of my doctor. I'll never get over that. My doctor, Rich Gannon, I think it was his name, or just maybe it wasn't Rich Gannon.
I was going to say, I can't.
Dr. Gannon.
How bad did it go for Rich after that Super Bowl?
Yeah, maybe it's not Rich, but it's Dr. Gannon from Gilbert. He used to be my doctor, and he is this fellow. He just looks like a doctor from the 50s, right? Yeah. The kind of would smoke as they were checking you out. You know?
Sure.
And I went in there, and I'm like, well, is it about time that I got to get the prostate checked there? And he's like, whoa, no, you're probably good for another couple of years, but is that something you want to get out of the way and get done? I'm like, not so much. So then we're talking about the other stuff. You know, I've tried triglycerides, this and that, and he had done a physical. And at the end, he said, I'm like, well, is that it for now? Are we all good? He said, yeah, unless you want to take care of the butt stuff. I'm like, well, not now that you've called it that. No, I don't. You're not ready to hear your doctor say, do you need the butt stuff? I'm like, pass. I also found a new doctor. By the way, I got at least away with one of those prostate exams not having to be conscious because I went and got my colonoscopy. And by the way, they said clean as a whistle. In fact, they were so impressed with how clean things were. They were like, it's like a water slide for the kids. It's so nice in there. And I was like, well, I did the one thing a lot of people don't do. I followed all the instructions on that horrible stuff you're supposed to drink. Ugh, that was bad. But while I was knocked out, I said, hey, since I don't want to remember this anyway, can you check the prostate too while you're in there? He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And so that's how I got away with not having that checked while awake. So I'm very proud of that. But now that I'm 50, the time has come. I think they got to check that every year or so. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, that becomes a regular thing at your age, Jeffrey.
Well, you're next, kid. Kay Kitten says chicks dig the dad bod, Jeffrey. Do they? I don't believe that. I actually do not believe that women see a guy like that and goes, I don't think that happens.
I don't know if they do that, but
when they see, here's what it is. When they see Leonardo DiCaprio with a little dad bod, they still see regular Leo and they're like, and because he's also got all that money too, right? And if they see me with the dad bod, I guarantee you it's still going to be, ew, put on a shirt. Oh my God. That's disgusting. Navy Brad is right about this. Chicks do dig the scars. So if you got some cool scars, they do like that. Flip Flopping says, did your doctor offer to use Jeffrey's Magic Lube? Okay, first off, there's no product called Jeffrey's Magic Lube. It's actually called Aladdin's Magic Lube, and it's to lube up the O-ring, not the ring, but the O-ring in your pool pump and the bell assembly. So that's
it's Aladdin's is the name of the actual company.
Rub the lamp and see what happens. I don't know. Yes, it is actually. No,
okay,
it is. But
because I was going to say, I wonder what their motto is. Is it?
I'm a sexy beast. Yeah, you got to stop doing that.
I love that.
I don't mind that clip. So it's like you're firing it off while I'm still sitting here talking. It makes no sense.
Well, that's why I waited for you to be quiet. And then
I agree that I'm a sexy beast. It's not like it's a big gotcha like when we got Eric Cohen saying go ASU.
Yeah, that was nice.
If you keep playing that clip, I'm just going to stop and go, you're right. I am a sexy beast. Yeah, it's no problem. The Berg says scars definitely work. Oh, okay. So by the way, we were talking about Tiger Woods, who now has got some Alex Smith type scars on his legs after what happened. And as he's rehabbing and doing his thing and getting preferential treatment from the sheriff's department, let me give you a difference. Let me give you a difference in how people are treated. So here's Tiger Woods, 84 to 87 miles an hour. He crosses across oncoming traffic. Thank God there was nobody there and nobody got hurt. Went off the road, hit a tree, knocked unconscious. He probably is lucky to be alive. No citation, no ticket, nothing. Now let's go over here. There's a guy, and this was in England, but this would have happened anywhere. He was driving a little too fast, 120 miles an hour. Okay. So again, you get caught going that fast, cops get angry. So they pull him over. He's doing 120 miles an hour. And the cop's like, okay, give me your license, your registration. And okay, do you know how fast you were going? I wasn't going that fast at all. I don't know what you're talking about. You're going 120 miles an hour. I don't think that was possible, sir. Just as they're having this conversation, his phone, which is in the cradle thing there, pops up a health and wellness app that was, monitoring him as he would maybe go for a walk. And they're like, hey, congratulations. You just went 120 miles an hour. And it went bling right on the screen. And the cop says, gotcha, right there, buddy. So, of course, he was ticketed they took him away in handcuffs.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez. He didn't crash into nothing. So, they're like, really? Did you run 120 miles an hour today? Did you go that much faster than Usain Bolt? 4 times faster than he could ever go? Is that what you just did? Doubt it. You're under arrest. So that shows you the difference there. Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey. Did I get it right? Yeah, you did. Perfect. Well done. Once you do, add that to your dictionary. I approve that message.
At some point, though, once you get into 120 miles per hour, What? How is it possible that you can even feign ignorance? At some point, you just got to go, you know what? You got me. I plead.
Oh, well, let me tell you why. Listen, you shouldn't be going that fast, but you get pulled over by the cops. Some people think as long as you verbally disagree, you can then later in court argue with their radar and say, there's no way that's true. You can hear it on the tape. You did it. So a lot of people just do the Bill Clinton thing, and that is lie until otherwise. Until the proof is just right in your face, you just keep on lying. And so that's what this guy was trying to do. He's like, I don't think there was any way right there. He by the way, if you in England, if you're caught driving 30 miles an hour or more over the speed limit or over 100 miles an hour, you automatically lose your license.
Wow. Well, keep in mind. So where was he?
England.
And he was in England. So technically, if he had been driving in the United States, he would have been driving on the right side of the road.
You are correct.
Yeah. I just wanted
Tiger.
No, I'm saying the guy in England. The guy.
Nobody said anything about him being on the wrong side of the road.
Oh, I thought you said he crossed into the wrong side of the road.
I never said that. I just said he was pulled over for speeding. Okay. That's it. That's all I said. I didn't say they did the exact same thing. You didn't hit a tree.
Okay.
Pay attention, Phil. Last Optimist says, doctor checked my prostate, and first thing he says, okay, that's not true, and I'm not reading that. Kiss the Cook says, after my first colonoscopy, I was still groggy, and that's when I asked the proctologist, Doc, did I have twins?
Oh gosh.
I about got in trouble because when I came down out of the anesthesia, my wife was sitting there next to me, and she says, the doctors are all weirded out because you kept saying, what did I say? What did I say? Did I say anything? Did I say anything? And I said, well, the reason I would have said that, and I kind of had a vague memory, is I thought maybe I had said something to offend somebody, because the smart ass here, there's no off switch. Okay. So even when I'm under, I was just hoping I didn't hurt somebody's feelings or say something I shouldn't, but that made them think, oh, you got some secrets you're keeping, Mr. O'Brien, which really piqued my wife's interest at that moment. She's like, oh, do tell. What are you afraid you might have said? No, I'm innocent. I got nothing to hide. Anyway, so that's, twins. Last Optimist says, nope, it's true. And I never went back. Yeah, I don't blame you on that one. A very strange thing to say, which I will not repeat. Watermelon says, Jeffrey, you brought up a good point with the cell phone thing. Do not keep your insurance in an app.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you do that, you got to hand your phone over. Now they can go through it and they'll see if you have been texting. Well, if you're listening to this show, you already know don't text and drive. And you already know if you do anything, voice text. But even then, you shouldn't do that. It's very distracting. But paper is fine. I always have mine on the paper. Blissful Hayes says Tiger was loading a bowl and dropped his lighter. No, okay, there's no proof of that at all. He's lost control of his car attempting to pick it up. Wow, the imagination. All right, we got to take us a break. Good Cat. Good Cat says, just finished a grueling workout. Apparently, I was grunting loud enough for my wife's conference call to hear. They probably think there's some weird porn playing in the front room here. Well, you should throw a few extra screams in there to. Well, no, your wife will get mad. All right, we got to take a break. Let's come back and we will talk about stuff and things and other stuff and many things.
Ooh, if that's not enticing, I don't know what is. Ooh.
Do I know how to do a promo or what?
Yeah,
that's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
DQ presents. Picture this. Picture a DQ'd chicken and biscuits basket. All white meat chicken strips nestled next to crispy golden fries and 7 mini biscuits. Fluffy, flaky mini biscuits that you can dunk in a side of warm pepper gravy. Then you leave the drive-thru and your favorite song comes on the radio. And all the streetlights turn green. This mini win calls for a mini celebration with the DQ chicken and biscuits basket. Or get it delivered at DQ.com. DQ. Happy tastes good.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100 plus degrees 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com. Harmon Solar is an REC certified solar professional.
Free speech is priceless. It is now 13 years since Summit Male Medical started helping men overcome the effects of erectile dysfunction, premature issues, and low testosterone. And the only way we could help was to be able to get the message out that we could help. Thank you, free speech. We've had to deal with these sensitive topics and inform the public that we can help and we guarantee to help with ED, or we won't charge you. These are issues that break apart relationships and then in turn families. And without freedom of speech, we would have not been able to help the tens and tens of thousands of guys here at Summit Male Medical. If you're one of the millions that still need help with ED, PE, or low T, call 480-398-1000 or go to summitmalemedical.com. Free speech. Ideas and information are not to be afraid of, but they should be discussed openly. So make that call to Summit Medical to start that discussion to get you the help you need. 480-398-1000 or go to summitmalemedical.com. We are here to help.
Okay, you're back to dining out, but there's dining and there's dinnertainment. Get ready for an amazing dining experience like none you've ever had at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. When it comes to Asian cuisine, nobody does it better or more authentic than Kasai, where talented teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's not just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where delicious 7-course meals prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on teppanyaki, sushi, cocktails, and more. Book your night of fun right now. Visit KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com or call 480-607-1114. That's 480-607-1114. We'll see you there.
The Tampa Bay Bucks, Super Bowl 55. Super Bowl 55 is in the history books, but we are kicking up our feet and waiting. The 2021 season has begun. And there's already been a lot of action because the NFL never takes a nap. Free agency, pro days, hirings and firings, the draft, training camp, and more. We will keep you in the know with all the news, insights, and analysis. Football is always in season here. Your exclusive home to the NFL and Super Bowl 56, 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
Today's Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And it's got very quiet in the play-by-play department, but we got a race on Saturday. MRN will have the Blue Emu 400, 500, whatever you need. Y'all have it.
780.
Yeah, Randy will have all the information for you on the race setup with Randy White and that Chief guy. That happens at 6 p.m. on Friday or at 7 a.m. on Saturday. So be sure to tune in for that. 888-368-1580. Bala 51 says Tiger Woods has definitely gotten better at covering up his tracks. I haven't heard any reports about the escort that was distracting him. Boy, I sure hope she's okay. Okay, that didn't happen. But hilarious if it did.
Jeffrey, why do you think, because remember, in order to release this evidence as part of the black box findings, Tiger Woods had to write off on it, had to approve this. Why do you think he did that? That's the only thing that really remains to be a question in my mind. On somebody,
because it looks bad if he didn't. And really, what is the black box really going to tell you? Everything can be covered up by I have no memory of that, and I don't know why. Because what the black box showed is when he changed direction. It showed when he changed speeds and what may have been happening leading up to that. What I want to know from the black box is how long was he going that rate of speed? How many miles before that? Because then that'll show you reckless driving. Or did it happen right there at that point? And suddenly he goes up to that speed, goes off the road. Well, that could mean he passed out and his foot went on the gas and he just went that fast because of that. So there's a lot of unanswered questions that we probably will not get to find out if the sheriff department closes the case on this. And of course, for his privacy, redacts everything. So whatever. Helavan Mike says, just finished an ice cold Guinness for National Beer Day and to honor our Irish community. Jeff Go, God invented whiskey so the Irish wouldn't rule the world. Who says we don't kind of already, though, Helavan Mike? Thank you for that. Kiss the Cook says, here's a true story. I played golf with a nurse that just left her job with a gynecologist to work for a proctologist. Her previous coworkers were giving her a hard time for moving down an inch.
Oh, God.
I don't know why that was so stupid. It was funny. Listen, speaking of stupid, I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I've made that clear. Not a fan of his, mostly because my wife, I was pretty sure she had a crush on him for a while.
Now, if he were to go to the Colts, that would be dissipate into the world. You would be his number one fan?
No, I wouldn't be his number one fan, but I'm not going to say no to Aaron Rodgers going to the Colts. Listen, I've not been a fan of Phillip Rivers, but he did pretty well by my Colts, and he played some improved ball right before he retired. But yeah, nothing personal. If Aaron Rodgers became the quarterback for the Colts, I'd be actually very enthusiastic about our chances. Ain't gonna happen, so I don't got to worry about it. I can still think he's a tool, and he is. He's a smarmy, arrogant tool, and people who play with him think that. It's not just me. It's a bunch of people who play with him. So anyway, so he's out there. He's doing this. Doing the Jeopardy. Has anybody watched him on the Jeopardy? I know Boogie did.
I've seen a couple of clips. That's about it.
To be fair to him, I don't know why, but to be fair to him, you probably should wait a couple of episodes before you watch and judge him in any way. Because, you might be a little nervous. He's just first starting out, trying to get used to the stuff. But like 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes in, that's when you go, okay, he actually could be the host of Jeopardy. Or no, jock got to be a jock. Host got to be a host.
Maybe. I when looking at Aaron Rodgers again, I found the comb over look was odd on him. I don't think that was his best play. The beard, you and me disagree on. I think it's a staple for him now. He's one of those people that you associate.
He said he'll shave it off if they make him an actual host.
Oh, I bet they will for $20 million a year. Honestly, at $20 million a year.
20. Alex Trebek got 20 because he was the OG, and there's no way that Jeopardy's going to turn around and just pay 20 to Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know if they pay him $20 million. I think that they would ingratiate themselves to a lot of old Milwaukee fans.
Let me just tell you something right here. First off, nobody in Wisconsin watches Jeopardy because nobody is smart enough to find the channel that it's on in Wisconsin.
Oh,
all right.
Gosh.
I'll wait for the text.
Shots are fired.
There is somebody else who needs to be the host of Jeopardy. It's not Aaron Rodgers. It's not Ken Jennings. It's LeVar Burton from Reading Rainbow. He's the perfect guy to host that show. He's smart. He's charming. He was Geordie LaForge in the Star Trek. He taught a lot of you kids how to read on the Reading Rainbow. And I don't understand why he's not even being brought in as a guest host. He's a better choice than a lot of the ones they've had, probably all of them. Back in November, some fans started an online petition to shine the light on him. And 50,000 signatures back then. And now LeVar has said, well, I kind of like to do that. And so he went on his Twitter and he shared another link saying, she's going to leave this here in the event the powers that be are listening. Because he's basically putting his hat in the ring. It's like, I wouldn't mind a shot at this.
Yeah, I don't
But the
blame
petition says LeVar Burton has inspired and shaped the minds of several generations of trivia-loving nerds. This petition is to show the producers just how much love the public has for LeVar Burton and how much love we'd all love to see him be the next host. Listen, I don't want petitions to be the way everybody gets hired to do every job, but at least give LeVar Burton a chance to show what he can do.
Appearance at the very least.
Kiss the Cook says, I'll take Girls Snaked by Aaron Rodgers for $250. Aaron?
That's a full category.
Gorilla Toe says, tuned in late. Yeah, Tiger got some strange box and got in trouble again. No, we're talking about the black. Your story's better than ours. Yeah, you're right, Gorilla Toe. Good Cat says, I wonder who the first person was to look at a beehive and think, those bastards are hiding something delicious in there. I just know it. I'm going in for it. I'll tell you who. It was a bear. That's who.
Oh, yeah.
Shamoy says, you think Tiger has a shot to win it this weekend? Absolutely. Shamoy, you're a fool if you don't go put all your money on Tiger Woods.
You know what? Go and mortgage the house and put that on there too. Safe bet.
The morning guys were doing a poll this morning about whether or not we should boycott the Beijing Olympics. And I found that interesting. And I think people are barking up the wrong tree. Hey, by the way, Phil, go look at the Twitterverse and see where that poll is. You're barking up the wrong tree, guys. You think that boycotting the Olympics back in the day when Jimmy Carter did it, I think it was Jimmy Carter, and because of the Russians, or was it the Russians doing the boycott? No boycotting of any Olympics is going to change anybody from being what they are. No boycotting of the Olympics is going to change the Chinese. They're not going to go, whoo, wow, guys, you know what? That's some serious stuff that you just boycotted the Olympics. Wow, we are jerks. Let's change our ways. Never has it happened. And I get it. Because of human rights violations, you want to make a point, right? You want to make a point and say, hey, we can't accept something like that. Well, you guys are barking up the wrong tree. You want to boycott something, boycott the Olympics themselves. The Olympic Committee, who has decided to gift these totalitarian nations, these human rights violators with the Olympics. The Olympics committee should be the one you're mad at. What good does it do you to boycott because China? Boycott the Olympics themselves and say, you know what? You keep putting these Olympics in places where we just don't feel like it's right to do. Although you could say it benefits them, but there's a lot of cities and countries who are still like almost bankrupt because of trying to hold an Olympics. A lot of these like Rio, they got decimated financially trying to do this by trying to be bigger boys than they were with the infrastructure and the arenas and the whatnot. And so I don't know. I do think you're barking up the wrong tree. Don't go after Beijing. Go after the Olympics themselves. Now, the Olympics are in China or the Olympics are in Nebraska. I think that because they continue to do business with people who have the human rights violations, just boycott the entire damn thing. Of course, everybody's going to say it's not right to do to all these athletes who've been working so hard. Well, you're either against human rights or you're not.
65% on the current poll say no, 35% say yes.
Yeah, you don't put sanctions in the right place, nothing happens. But if you go to the Olympic people and say, quit putting the Olympics in communist nations or places where they're horrible to their people or there's human rights violations. That's the real point. Hamilton Porter says, if you can't protest the Olympics in Nazi Germany, how can you boycott them in Beijing? Different day, different time. But you're either in or you're out. I don't think that you need to boycott one place and then still go to the other. The Olympic Committee is the one that needs to have the overall pressure put on them, to say, hey, stop letting the bad guys into this. Good Cat says, what about that SNL actor who plays Sean Connery to host Jeopardy as Sean Connery? Daryl Hammond? Yeah. That would be hilarious, but probably would get old really, really fast. Blissful Hayes says, speaking of terrible teams, BU said he's going to call the Bears offensive plays again, which means Chicago's going to win 4 games next year. Is that an improvement? I can't remember the record is. Oh, actually, they had a pretty decent record.
Yeah,
for the Bears.
They were the last team in the playoffs this year for the NFC.
Yeah, that's one of the worst pieces of news that a Bears fan could ever hear, that Matt Nagy has decided that he is going to call all the offensive plays.
You know what? I'm going to be the lone guy on this diving board. I actually do think Matt Nagy is a better coach than what he's being given.
When
what?
Where
has he been a better coach?
When?
You're asking a lot of questions. I couldn't even say the right question.
I'm asking 2 questions. Where and when has he ever been a good coach?
First couple of years he was in Chicago. First year they got to the playoffs and they were an immense defensive team and they pulled offense out of their hat. And then once they figured out Mitchell Trubisky could not throw the ball down the field with accuracy and poise, Then they realized, oh, let's just crowd the middle and lower ends of the field and make it impossible for him to do anything but run on scrambles.
Large Marge, you're absolutely damn right. Says, you know what? Fair is fair. LeVar Burton should get to start for the Packers then. You're right. If stupid Aaron Rodgers is going to go host Jeopardy, they ought to let LeVar Burton do a few snaps. That's
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Helabin Mike says, can you believe it's been 44 years since LeVar Burton played Kunta Kinte in Roots? Yeah, 44 years. And then shortly after that, he was on the Star Trek. And I don't know how long he's been doing the Reading Rainbow, but he's a cool guy. How do you not like LeVar Burton? I've never seen him in anything where I was just like, what a jerk.
I forgot about him in Star Trek. He was good in that.
Yeah, he's always been good. I don't know how great an actor he is, but he seems like a good guy. 888-368-1580. So let's talk a little NFL real fast. Because of the headline, the Buffalo Bills have agreed to terms with Forrest Lamp, which combines two movies. I'm Forrest Lamp. I love Lamp. Do you really love Lamp, Forrest? I love Lamp. Come on, Phil. What's the other movie?
What's the other movie? Is it Pixar with the?
I love Lamp. Oh my God, Phil, you're killing me.
I don't know this one.
Are you just looking around the room and seeing inanimate objects, just saying you love them? No, I love Lamp.
Oh, Lamp. I love Lamp. Oh, it's from Anchorman.
Jesus, that took you forever.
I'm
Forrest Lamp.
Jeez.
See, 2 movies and one guy's name. Outside of that, I really don't care. I just don't care about Forrest Lamp or the Bills signing him to the offensive line. So, but now he's one of my favorites. Every time I see him on the field, I'm going to think, I'm Forrest Lamp. I love Lamp. Hitting the Nut says they should get Norm Macdonald to play Burt Reynolds playing Turd Ferguson to the Jeopardy house. You're right. They should, but they won't because Norm is very old now. Kiss the Cook says, so if Tiger had an escort in his SUV, was she escorting him to the commercial shoot? I guess she's now in hiding, so she won't blow her cover. What? Good Cat says, Anchorman Phil. Fighting Wampa says, Phil, where exactly are the lower ends of the football field located?
The lower ends, they're located within the first 10 yards of the line of play.
So what you mean is the red zone?
No. The lower ends of
within the 10 yards.
Yeah, the short distance of field from wherever the
so 10 yards from scrimmage is lower end.
Yeah, it's the lower end of the field.
Did you make this terminology up, or is this something you've heard somewhere else?
No, this is of course just all me.
All right, Fighting Wampa. It's a Philism. Yes, and a lot of these guys listening are like, I just had a Philgasm. Gorilla Toe says only one real choice for Jeopardy host, Randy friggin' White.
Wow,
that would be amazing.
That would put some energy into that show that it needs. Look at that.
Somebody has a dumb answer, he'll start screaming at them.
Hey, stay in your lane. You didn't say in the form of a question. All right, now we're back to turtles and how to move.
Large Marge says Phil thinks 2 questions is a lot, but not 16 free lunches for a day of work. Slacker. Good Cat says, what about Tom Hanks hosting Jeopardy? He'd be great at it.
He's making too much.
Everybody loves Tom Hanks.
Making too much, but I would love it. I would love that.
I don't know. Maybe listen, half the year he makes movies, half the year he hosts Jeopardy. Well, that's a great idea, Good Cat. Prison Wallet says, shut up, Phil. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Everybody, Mark Asher, back to tell you about my friends at Valley Medical Weight Loss. I love this company. I've used them. I have friends that have used them. A ton of weight has been lost in a quick amount of time and the right way. That's the important part. Look, they have 3 Valley locations, Tempe, Glendale, and Phoenix. So one is close to you, and they've been doing this for well over a decade. And right now you can get your first week, $31.95, absolutely free. Just mention Money Radio or mention The Fanatic, and it is on them. 602-441-3305 or valleymedicalweightloss.com.
I'm Cisco Miranda, owner of Miranda Delivery Service. As a business owner, my job is to provide the best quality service for our customers. Affinity Technology helped us reinvent our business processes, using technology to make us more efficient. I didn't know I needed technology consulting, but my ROI has been off the charts. Affinity Technology has saved us more than 80 man-hours a week and has helped me get back to what I do best, focus on my customers. Visit atechaz.com. That's atechaz.com and see how better technology processes can help your small business.
Pack your bags for an amazing trip. And our resort, a short walk away from shopping and fine dining. No. Let's try this again. Honey, I booked the vacation of our dreams. No. Getaway. Yes. Okay, honey, I booked the getaway of our...
Hey, sweetie, I'm home.
Here it goes. Hey, hon, I got a surprise for you.
No matter how you say it, your luxury oasis is just a short drive away to Hermosa Beach, California. Relax in one of Hermosa Oasis's beautifully appointed apartment home retreats. Take in our ocean breezes, panoramic sunset views, or stroll along 20 miles of oceanfront strand. All of our beach homes offer fully equipped kitchens, crisp linens, plus beach towels, chairs, and umbrellas, along with cable TVs and wireless internet throughout the home and oceanfront patio. You don't have to wait until summer to bask in the warmth of the California sun. Visit hermosaoasis.com. That's hermosaoasis.com. Save extra with off-season rates. Now anytime is a great time to get away. Visit hermosaoasis.com.
Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Felicia.
We're the hosts of the show, Drive Friendly.
With Steve's 40 years of experience, you're going to get the real insider information about the automotive industry. And I'll be interviewing local celebrities and experts so you can be informed and live your very best life.
Laugh and learn with Steve, Felicia, and the gang. You'll be smarter for listening. Drive Friendly, 10 a.m. Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
ADOT presents Terrifying Jobs. Snake handler, take one.
This is a really terrifying job. Today we're talking with James Hall, a snake wrangler at the Phoenix Zoo. They handle really creepy, venomous creatures. Given the hazards, why do you do it?
I've been fascinated by reptiles since I was a child.
Tell me about your little friend there.
So this is Bear Hug. He's a Burmese python. We have him here at the Phoenix Zoo.
He kind of makes my skin crawl. Is there anything that rattles you?
Yeah, distracted drivers terrify me.
This message is brought to you by ADOT, KBA, and this station. The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And if you haven't heard the barbecue radio, it is on Saturdays. They've changed the time. It's on at 1 p.m. now. It used to be on earlier, but now it's on at 1 p.m. It's not as good as like if you'd heard Randy White talk about grilling. And to be honest, we put it on the station to try to shame him into doing a grilling show. But then he started screaming at us saying he does more than enough with what he does with the race setup in this show and everything else that he does that no way will he do that. But I'm still working on it. I'm still working on a Randy grill show. We'll just have to see what happens. Anyway, so until that happens, though, we got Barbecue Nation at 1 p.m. here Saturdays on 1580.
What would he call the show, do you think? White Noise?
No, shut up. No, it would be, I've called him the Grill Master General. So probably Grill Masters, with Randy White. There you go. Yeah. Well, I just made that up right there.
Yeah. Speared with the spatula.
Really? White Noise?
It was something.
It's not a music show. The Jet says, you know who'd be the best, greatest Jeopardy host ever? Mike Tyson.
Oh, God. And,
now that is funny. I think one of the prerequisites is a clear command of the English language without any speech impediments. But on that angle, Michael Strahan would be pretty good. I thought of his name because of the speech impediment. He lisps a little bit with that big gap in his teeth.
He no longer has that gap in his teeth.
No. It turns out that was April Fool's joke.
Was
that was bullcrap of Michael Strahan to do because he actually released that video before April Fool's. So that made me think, well, maybe that's real. Turns out that was just a wax appliance thing they just put on there. And because of his doing that, the dentist office that he did that with, they ended up getting like 100 new customers out of it. So win-win for everybody, plus his April Fool's joke. I don't know. I get mad when I fall for an April Fool's joke, but I just figured since it wasn't on April Fool's Day, maybe it was real. But I also remember saying, but then again, it might be an April Fool's joke, so I'm covered. Skoll says, you know what, Skoll, I'm not reading your text no more. I don't think you're actually listening.
No, what did he say?
No, I don't think he's actually listening because about the same time every day, he just says this, but he has no connection to whatever the hell it is we're actually saying. So unless I know you're actually listening, Skoll, I ain't reading your damn text no more. Because, well, it's always the same thing about the Vikings going to the Super Bowl. But I'm not reading any more of your texts unless you verify that you're actually listening to the show that we're doing at the moment it's happening.
We should offer him a test. All right. I'm going to play something and he has to tell me what he played in order for us
a
to
radio captcha?
No, it's going to be
what
this.
If you like pina coladas. That's not cool. That's not cool at all.
All right. Go ahead, Skoll, and let us know what we just played.
Blissful Hayes says 3 years ago, Mitch Trubisky led the Bears to 12 wins by running very efficiently. The next 2 seasons, BU didn't allow him to run as much, basically taking away a weapon that helped them win 12 games. BU consistently makes bad decisions. That's funny because I didn't remember that Mitch Trubisky was a mobile quarterback like that.
Oh, really? That's like the number one thing I remember off of him.
Here's all I remember is he got they moved up for him. He got drafted, and every Bears fan from across the land screamed into the night, "No!" Very upset about it. And then I didn't really pay attention to him. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, what? What's their record? Yeah, they had a pretty good record. I just never watched him. I'll be honest. And even now, I don't know that I've even watched him in more than a game or two. Because I just am that uninterested in Mitch Trubisky.
I'll tell you what, head coach Matt Nagy, he's going to be hired as soon as he gets fired. He will be a head coach again, and that much is assured.
Why is that? Because everything about him seems wrong, and yet you're singing the praises of him.
I do see a lot of offensive creativity with what he does. And I just think that he's been limited by awful quarterback play and general manager.
But listen to Blissful Hayes. They've limited his ability to run. They've taken that away from him. So isn't that really on him?
Again, once you put the pressure on an offense and you limit the space that they're able to work with, because you know that they're not going to be throwing accurate balls beyond the 20 yards from the line of scrimmage.
So you're saying the defenses are taking away the weapon that Mitch Trubisky has.
Correct.
Not BU.
Yeah, there's only so much that you can do, Jeffrey, with a limited quarterback. Whenever if you work with an out of this world Russell Wilson, yes, you can certainly open up the playbook. But when you're working in the reverse of that, whenever you have a Blake Bortles, whenever you have a freaking Drew Lock, whenever you have a Kevin Cobb, whatever quarterback you want to say, and they have their limitations, there's only so much before defenses start to key in on what the quarterback can and cannot do, especially in a rookie quarterback where they're like, well, we don't have tape that he can't do this. Can he do it? Okay, now that we know he can't, let's hone in on that until he forces us to make a change. And that's what happened here, I think.
Skoll says, I'm here. Pina coladas. I'm here, you fools. I'm a Hall of Fame texter. Of course I listen.
Yeah, Jeff, how dare you question the integrity of Chief Skoll?
Well, because it seemed that way. But now I stand corrected and I apologize, Skoll. Now he says, maybe I'll go listen to Hurley Shorts Boy instead. I don't know what that means, but you're free to go if you want to. I already apologized. I know what you want, you big baby. Tyson Rader says, I'd love to see Samuel L. Jackson host Jeopardy.
That would have to be, what would that be? That had to be NBC at night or something.
No, because he's really cool and calm and collected. He's a happy guy. He just acts angry. Sometimes he gets angry, but he acts angry. So you wouldn't get to see that in Jeopardy, and then everybody'd be very disappointed.
Yeah, you don't get to see the mood associated with that one piercing eye look. Right,
because he's got, what does he care? Here's the thing. Being the host of Jeopardy is so damn easy. Now, understand, Alex Trebek was awesome, and he was an Iron Man.
Yeah,
and
I love his blooper.
He was a great guy.
I love his blooper reel. Oh.
He had all the answers. So if you have all the answers, it's a pretty easy job. As long as you don't get nervous, as long as you can speak clearly and get stuff done. So yeah, a lot of guys could do it. A lot of guys have the personality for it. But I'm telling you who doesn't, Aaron Rodgers. Watch your friggin' dirty language, Phil, says King of Kittens.
Concerning.
You've dropped 3 friggins already.
Oh, I see.
Better be careful there.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Random texture says, better yet, Morgan Freeman. You know what? He would have been good 10, 15 years ago,
Yeah.
but he's really starting to age into old age. He was on that horrible Coming to America movie.
Was he?
Yeah,
Wow, what a get.
He had he gave a little speech at one point, and you love Morgan Freeman, but yeah, he kind of not somebody who you're gonna have active for much longer, I think.
Yeah,
Baker's
he's really accepting a lot in every role. You can
Yeah, he's a super cool dude and everything, but sometimes, like Patrick Stewart, he's old as hell and he's barely able to talk anymore, and he's still doing that Star Trek show. Just at some point, you get old, and that's it. You gotta, make room for the next guy, I guess. Baker's Cocky Hen says, "Did you say Phil likes 29 inches on his face earlier? Something about a waist?" No, I said I had a 29-inch waist. Weirdo. Large Marge says, "Can't figure out what's funnier. Tiger Woods doing the Back to the Future thing or Mike Tyson as Jeopardy host." It's one of the texts of the day. Voting for Tyson on the Jeopardy. That's what I think. King of Kittens says, "Actually, Jeffrey, wait a minute. I'm confused. What? Alex had all the questions?"
No, he just had. Well, he had all the questions and answers. Actually,
did I say that? I meant to say he had all the answers.
I think you said he had all the answers. I thought I remember.
You have to have all the answers if you have all the questions there.
Yeah, if you have all the answers, then
Blissful Hayes. What are you doing?
It's my Mike Tyson impression.
Huh. Blissful Hayes says Samuel Jackson could have had "bad mother effer" embroidered on his suit while hosting Jeopardy. That'd be very classy. Yeah, sure would, but it just wouldn't work out. Good Cat says, breaking news, Kevin Kolb announced he's coming out of retirement to be the Broncos starting quarterback.
You stop it.
Kevin
Stop
Kolb.
it right
Good
there.
for you.
Kevin Cobb. Yeah, no, we're stop it right there.
Spelled
Stop.
with an L, so I pronounce the L. I don't care.
Yeah, well, the Cobb is still on the corn, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't. Sounds dirty, though. Hamilton Porter says William Shatner's over 90 and he's still acting. Just saying.
He's still acting.
Yeah, when was he ever actually acting? And also, he has reduced his activity some. But yeah, his voice is not. His voice has not aged, has it?
No,
that actually is interesting.
Yeah, from what I hear, William Shatner is actually much more of an investor these days.
Individual results may vary on people getting old as hell.
Yeah.
Boomer Sooner says, "I think Christopher Walken should be the new Jeopardy host."
Wow,
that would be amazing.
You know what? We got Jeopardy over here,
which I would be all for, and that's one of your better imitations there, Phil.
Welcome to Jeopardy.
But he's getting old as hell too.
Yeah.
Random texture says, "No, Rupert Holmes died, didn't he? Is he dead? He should be. I hope he is.
He should be.
He should be. After that song." The Jet says, "Is it just me or does Phil suck at impersonations? So far, I've counted 2 he doesn't suck at. That was not a bad Christopher Walken.
Yeah, what's the other one?
Mike Tyson sucks a lot. You're
disagree.
Mike Tyson. So you got good Shaq, a good Christopher Walken, and that's it. So Chief's burner phone, Chief Skulls says, I'd watch for 2 shows only if Donald Trump hosted Jeopardy and told everyone their answers were wrong and his were right, so I could throw bricks at the TV. That's a long way to go there. Mr. Pringle says, you should set Phil up on his own show, The Sound of Silence. Mean like that? Finding Wampa says Randy's barbecue show would be called White Smoke.
Yeah, because if you were to say like all the smoke or just smoke, it might come across as marijuana, which I don't.
Does that mean he's made the Pope?
Oh,
yeah. I listen. I get your creativity on these things, but keep in mind, just by itself wouldn't make any sense. So. The Grill Masters, boy, that would make sense, wouldn't it? You know what the hell we're talking about. But White Smoke could be somebody's the Pope, somebody who knows the hell that is.
What about White Hot Summer?
That makes absolutely no sense at all, Phil.
Well,
you can't call a grilling show that. Heelman Mike says Steven Seagal would be great just for the laughs of the prospect of somebody getting their ass kicked. Nobody is ever getting their ass kicked by Steven Seagal.
Chief.
Boomer Sooner says, that was pretty good, Phil. Let's hear some more that you could perfect if you know. What?
I think he's talking about accents, but I think
they'll come naturally.
Yeah.
They'll come naturally. And Phil, when I tell you it's a good one,
Don't
mark
overdo
that
it.
aside. If I tell you it's a bad one, it means I don't ever want to hear it again.
Okay. Okay.
Navy Brad says Michael Keaton would be great Jeopardy host using his Batman voice. I think Michael Keaton would actually be good just using his regular voice. Tyson Rader says, tell Phil to stop. 2 out of 100 impressions. That is not a good average. Well, if he only does the good ones and stops doing the bad ones, then you can love him again. King Kenton says, okay, I did the laundry. I washed the dishes, all of that. Now I'm going to happy hour. Wish me luck.
Happy hour. Ooh, for appetizers, beer, all the above.
It's National Beer Day, Phil.
So of course it's beer.
Yeah, of course it's beer.
Okay. Okay.
Skull says it's lit. I don't know what that means. Kiss the
is.
Cook says Mike on Jeopardy. Nah, that's ludicrous. It's ludicrous because I said your answer is ludicrous. Cowboy Sparky says again, Phil. I still hear Dickie Vitale. What, in every voice he does?
I that may just be my voice. I can't get rid of it completely.
I may need to have you like audition your voices and then make a list,
Ooh,
and
like
that's like you stick to that list.
Yeah, American Idol. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, something like
This
that.
is the
No, not nothing like that, Phil.
Okay.
The Jet says it's National Beer Day. Phil, pour yourself a nice pina colada. Son of a bitch, Jack. Why would you do that to me?
Get caught in the rain.
Random texter wants to know if Joe Biden became host of Jeopardy, would he forget the answers? Nah, they'd be on a teleprompter. All right, guys. His entrances would be amazing to watch. You know, like old Gerald Ford video. All right, guys, 2 hours down and 1 to go. We'll be back with more of the Daily Blender in just a bit. We'll talk some NFL. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Come to Summit Male Medical Center to take control of your love life and your health. A recent investigation of men with low testosterone showed more than half were diagnosed with depression. That's depressing. 89% of the men in that study had erectile dysfunction, and 69% had a low sex drive. Now that is really depressing, but it doesn't have to be that way. Come let Summit Male Medical Center put a smile on your face and your spouse's. Call 480-398-1000 or go to summitmalemedical.com. Come see our all-male medical staff, the most experienced and knowledgeable staff that deals with ED, PE, and low T that you'll find anywhere. We've been in the Valley since 2008, and we've helped tens of thousands of guys and indirectly their loved ones achieve happiness with a healthier life and the newfound ability to rekindle their love life. Don't wait or hesitate. Come get a smile on your face. Get happy. Call Summit Male Medical Center, 480-398-1000 or go to summitmalemedical.com. Kiss the blues away.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. Are you seeing what is going on in the home buying market right now? Unbelievable. Not enough inventory, and there is a ton of demand. Some of these homes are getting 30, 40, 50 offers on them. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to differentiate yourself from the other buyers who are in line? I have a way. Use the Lund Mortgage Team. Lund Mortgage Team is locally owned and operated with over 20 years of experience right here in the Valley. They have a great reputation, and it is a trustworthy pre-approval. And on top of that, they are quick. That's one of the things. You got to come equipped and be ready to buy. So what you need to do is make that first phone call to 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940. Get that pre-approval going and then get yourself ready to go buy that home of your dreams. Go online, lundmortgageteam.com, or call 623-875-9940.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100+ degrees. 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com. Harmon Solar is an REC certified solar professional.
Distracted driving kills in Arizona. Life is more important than your phone's beep. Stop the distracted driving, Arizona, please. Sponsored by the Arizona Chapter National Safety Council and the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, aired in cooperation with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, buddy, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. Cox Communications has decided they don't want him on the show today, so they've killed the internet in his neighborhood. That sucks. And I had all this cool Major League Baseball I wanted to talk about with him, but oh well, I guess maybe we'll have something to talk to him about tomorrow. So I can't wait forever because this is some good, juicy stuff. We'll do it later on in this hour on the hopes that maybe, just maybe, his internet will come right back up. But we got Filthy Phil there in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. We got you guys in the Summit Mail Medical text line, 888-368-1580. Oh, that's funny. So, yeah, we've reached out to the winners of the 1580, the Fanatic Bracket Challenge of the Harmon Solar contest. And, our friend C-Hack, he was the second place winner. He gets, which is actually perfect because being an ASU fan, he is absolutely going to enjoy opening day. Those tickets were for food and fun, an air-conditioned suite, the tailgate party, all that stuff. And so he was so happy. He responded to me and Radio Ron in an email that says, "Hey, Radio Ron and Mrs. O'Brien." He accidentally put Mrs. instead of Mr. And I'm like, what the hell, dude? And he texts in and says, "Jeffrey, sorry for the misses. Guess I was typing way too fast. My bad for sure." Oh, I get that kind of thing all the time, typing too fast. We all make mistakes. We're glad to have you listening, and congratulations on your second place win in the NCAA Bracket Challenge. The Jet says, "Randy is lying. I've seen him down on the 7th Avenue. He's eating a taco."
Well, you can't blame him. Although it's a Wednesday. It's not even a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing you can harp on him about.
Yeah, listen, I'm sure he is enjoying some beers on National Beer Day. Don't blame him, but also being a victim of Cox Communications on more than a few occasions, I know he's telling the truth. 888-368-1580. Let's pick back up where we were talking some NFL. So some of the things have happened. Donkey Kong Sue, he got his deal, which now means everybody with the Buccaneers has been signed. Everybody will be back except for one guy. One guy still trying to figure things out and work things out, and that's Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown wants to be there. He says, yes, sign AB, which is him. So he's talking about himself in the third person. But they're just not close enough to make this deal. I don't know what the issue is. Are they right up at their cap? Are they looking at other people? Is there a situation? Because let's be honest, Antonio Brown, he came in and did that first year deal on incentives, and Tommy Brady helped him get paid, a touchdown in the Super Bowl, enough little things here and there. But for the most part, he did what was expected of him. Now I get it.
Bravo.
Well, I mean, it's Antonio Brown. You got to be a little surprised. There are still some legal issues he has hanging over his head that got to be a concern for the Buccaneers, but he did what he was supposed to do. And now you got to be honest with yourself. The guy deserves to get paid more. He does. I'm not saying give him a max contract by any stretch of the imagination. You still have to be looking at him in a probationary kind of way. Like, all right, so you were okay last year, but if we actually make a deal with you, are you going to become crazy Antonio Brown, or are you going to be cool Antonio Brown? So I don't know if the Buccaneers situation is they don't trust him, or the Buccaneers situation is they just don't have cap space for him. They may have not have needed him. Well, he sure came in handy when what's his name, Evans, was hurt.
Sure. And that's initially why they got him, because they did have a lot of wide receiver depth, but they were at the end of their wide receiver depth because of injuries to both Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. So they were reaching at the bottom of the basket in the barrel when they did sign AB. And then eventually it became a glut of riches, really. But
what's wrong with the glut? I mean, what's wrong with having Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans on that same team,
Absolutely
making it impossible to do double coverage on anybody. And you can keep on winning Super Bowls that way.
Nothing's wrong. A couple things. One, yes, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are up against the cap a little bit, but more so and above and beyond this, from the Buccaneer standpoint, I think that they have all the leverage in the world. I don't think whatsoever that Antonio Brown, if he stays, fantastic. That's spectacular. But if he goes away, so what? They have Scotty Miller and other guys to slide right in. And should they even think that that's a need, that's probably the one need that they might have. They can certainly draft with their first round pick that they still have in a wide receiver heavy, talented draft class here. Even at the bottom of the first round where they will be drafting, there still will be starting caliber wide receivers available for them to draft. So Antonio Brown holds little to no leverage. And on top of it, I'm not paying him anywhere beyond a 1-year deal, let alone anything above and beyond an incentive laden deal. I'm sorry, you've proven to me that you hold no responsibility. And the moment you get paid and you get too big of a piece of the pie, you've done this to yourself. And I can no longer trust you with holding a piece of my cap hostage and me hostage in the process.
Well, I mean, I get that thinking, but I personally don't agree. I would say he last year he behaved enough. Pay him more this year. I'm not saying tons more. I'm saying last year we had all these incentives. Give the guy $1 million. Give the guy $2 million and some of those same incentives. Give him $3 million and some of those incentives. Just do something to make him happy, because the one thing Antonio Brown knows, he has one guy that has his back, Tom Brady. He has one guy who will get him the ball, Tom Brady. And in the situation like what Antonio Brown is in, you take that deal. That said, I fully 100% believe that he could go to another team. There's other teams that probably will have him. Maybe not till after the draft. People will let the dust settle and kind of figure some stuff out. Maybe even he comes in midseason again someplace else. But I would not mind having him on the Colts. I know he's a cancer in the locker room. I know he's a troubled child, but if you handle it right, if you get him in there, he is going to be a star on the field. And that is, that's the whole deal. Winning games. So now if I find out that, allegations are correct and true of the things that he's been accused of, well, he can go straight to hell for all I care. I don't want him on my team. Sure. But if we are still, innocent until proven guilty on that, well, then in that case, he's still playing. He just won a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers. So I think any other team probably could do well to have him on their roster, especially on teams that are hurting for a good wide receiver. But I tell you what, it's like, you got to be like the bomb squad. You got to handle him very carefully and delicately. And you're right. The fact they didn't have to treat him so delicately in the Buccaneers was because he knew that he could not get away with anything with Bruce Arians. And he was not going to be the guy who makes Tom Brady look bad.
And he's shown time and time again, you give him an inch and he will take 2 kilometers, not even a mile. He'll go far and above and beyond. I think, Jeffrey, what you go through and what you're talking about is, yes, if the production on the field is there, sure, of course, maybe you're able to overlook some off the field issues or whatever, what have you. The problem is that he's such a cancer to not only just himself and the offense, but it evaporates into the team. The entire team is poisoned by just the Antonio Brown perspective. Lest we forget, he had that post-game thing where he Facebook lived and got Mike Tomlin into trouble. The other Steelers
now, that was the first sign of weirdness with him. And at that time, we weren't that upset about it. We're like, that was just dumb. But what are you doing? Live casting, a locker room speech. Come on, man. Be smarter than that. We didn't realize he'd become crazy Antonio Brown at that point. I wasn't mad at him for it. I thought, well, that was dumb, but it wasn't I wasn't mad at him. What I was mad at was that Mike Tomlin didn't come down on him harder, that Mike Tomlin didn't own that locker room and be more of an authoritarian figure. He was too much and still is too much of a player coach. But he's still, I'm not saying I don't like Mike Tomlin. He's a great guy. And yeah, he's a pretty good coach, but he probably needed to handle that differently at that moment because he, by not acting, created the monster that we now know as Antonio Brown. 888-368-1580. Baker's Cocky Hen says AB is innocent and proven to pay in civil court, so he isn't guilty. Well, I don't understand what that means.
Yeah, there's a lot there. I have not heard of any ruling yet. I think the NFL even itself is still investigating some of the charges that Antonio Brown has because it's in civil court. It gets pushed back. So there will be time adjusted for this.
The problem with things is when they don't go to the cops. You go to the cops and first, then sue them in civil court. Establish that a crime has been committed. But I start to get a little suspicious when it's done the other way around. If you have the man arrested and you have the evidence, there is nothing that stops you from then going after him civilly. So I feel like a lot of what's been happening lately is sort of in the wrong order. But
in recent times, we're learning a lot more about the legal system than we ever had to before, huh, Jeffrey?
Yeah, so are the players. Baker's Cocky Hens also says, send his ass to Denver.
Stop it.
Brown needs to play with Watson somewhere. They love massages from a different person. And both send him to New England with Robert Kraft. Free mac and cheese for both of them. Okay, Baker's Cocky Hens
he was in New England.
Just firing off rapid fire.
I think he's enjoying happy hour as well because he was in New England and he left because he himself got into a tiff with Robert Kraft, the owner. Robert Kraft was totally in his corner, was totally supportive of him, and was going to even hold him because that's the one organization that can probably withstand any and all outside criticism. And of course, Antonio Brown was so combustible, he shot himself right out of New England. So,
well, even crazy people learn. Blissful Hayes says, hey, Mrs. O'Brien. Oh, you shut up. Tyson Raiders says Antonio Brown needs to just quit football. If not, he should be on 1 year deals. 1 year, year to year.
That's the max I'm giving him. I'm not going beyond 1 year. And I would even give him an incentive-based deal that leads him to the top of the wide receiver stuff. If he reaches those production levels, sure, I don't mind paying you $23 million, but I'm not paying you off of the base salary. Base salary is going to be the veteran minimum. You got to earn the rest of that by playing time and production.
The time he spent with the Buccaneers isn't enough for Phil. I think it's enough for me. But there has to be clauses in the contract. There has to be triggers that protect the team if necessary.
Yeah, I credit
MMA
that with Tom
Joe
Brady.
says AB does need to make some more money. The mental health medication, that's got to be very expensive.
I don't think he's taking it.
Yeah, there's no evidence of that. Large Marge says, can Phil do that hot sports take as James Stewart? No, don't encourage him. No. I don't think he knows who James Stewart is.
I was going to say, oh, wait, is it Jimmy Stewart? Like Christmas? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, no, don't stop. Yeah. Fish Tank says, Phil, I don't like Antonio Brown at all, but if he's a cancer, the Bucs just won the Super Bowl with stage 5 leukemia, and every team in the league would love to have that stage 5 leukemia.
No, I again, this is a horrible analogy, and I'm not actually, you know what? I'm not even going to go down that road, but no, he was on his best behavior. He was making little to no money with the Buccaneers. And I fully accredit Tom Brady for his behavior being so good.
Baker's Cocky Hen says maybe Brown was the one who ratted out Bob Kraft for the massage parlor incident. Ooh, wow. I think Baltimore or Tampa Bay are his only real options.
Well, Seattle.
Yeah, Russ Wilson has been saying he'd love to have him there. Navy Brad says the best team for Antonio Brown, Texans. He can be a part of that train wreck down there. How's that?
Wow, what an absolute dumpster fire that would be.
C-Hack feels bad. Don't worry about it, C-Hack. I got this. 888-368-1580. So who do you think was the better coach to Antonio Brown? Was it Tom Brady or Bruce Arians? What kept Antonio Brown in line? Was it you don't want to disappoint the GOAT, or Bruce Arians is just the right kind of coach.
Oh, without a doubt, it was Tom Brady. Because if you ask Bruce Arians, Antonio Brown would have never even been there in the first place. They asked him earlier in the year and said, "Hey, would Antonio
hold on,
Brown?"
Phil. Bruce Arians was also like the coach that brought in all the misfit toys. That's why we end up with Honey Badger to begin with, and Chris
Jones, Chandler Jones.
No, Chris, the running back. I already forgot his last name. That's how long ago it was.
I'm not sure who.
Help me out, super fans. He was a troubled guy, running back. Chris.
Chris Johnson.
Yeah. Okay, fine. That works. Anyway, so he brought those guys in. So it's not that Bruce Arians ever has a problem bringing in somebody who needs a little extra.
But he specifically said, they asked him point blank at the beginning of the season, "Hey, Antonio Brown's still out there. Would you ever take a flyer?"
I know, but once he's there, who had the bigger effect? Was it Antonio Brown's respect and possibly fear of Bruce Arians, or was it that he just didn't want to let down Tommy Brady again?
I'm putting that all on Tommy Brady. If nothing else, he's the GOAT of therapists in sports.
Heavy Metal Maniac says, will you tell that bandwagon fan Filthy Phil that his impressions horrible? Please stop. Sports. I am impressed by your knowledge of sports, Phil, but your impressions are terrible.
My knowledge of sports? Why?
He just complimented you, and you're going to do that, Phil? He just complimented you. Could you just not give them what they give the fans what they want?
I'm giving them what
less of your impersonations.
My
yes,
God.
Thank you, Blissful Hayes. It's Chris Johnson. Thank you. Hefty Lefty says CJ2K. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah,
I remember
CJ2K.
now. Thank you, guys. Yeah, everybody's throwing me the CJ2K Chris Johnson. Thanks, Baker. Cocky hens. All right, so Matt Nagy's calling his own plays. Sam Darnold.
Did you see the Falcons they made a public statement for all intents and purposes? We are ready and open and willing to trade our fourth pick. It felt so lame. They're the last hen in the hen house here, and they're saying, "Oh, but wait, don't forget about us. We would like a first rounder too."
Well, thanks, Phil, for interrupting, because that was actually right after what I was going to say about Sam Darnold, but I'll move that sheet up to here.
Yeah.
So exploratory talks about trading back from number 4. Matt Ryan is he's nervous now, isn't he? Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's not bad.
He's a former MVP.
Why aren't the Falcons doing more to build the team around him rather than worrying about Matt Ryan? They reworked his contract to clear cap space, so I don't think they're going to move on from him. But
keep in mind for this,
why is everybody so hard on Matt Ryan? I'd love Matt Ryan on the Colts.
Well, he also is very dependent. I think he's very much he needs to go into a dome place because his arm's not the strongest, but he's certainly got the IQ and the know-with-all, and now the veteran savviness in order to fully put up really big numbers, at least in the regular season. The postseason, he's had one run to the Super Bowl. Outside of that, a lot to be desired.
Yeah, but the Falcons now exploratory talks. Trading back from number 4, that gives Matt Ryan some confidence that they're not going to get a quarterback, right?
Absolutely.
That's good for the Falcons to trade away that number 4. So who do you think is going to move up to number 4? Your Broncos?
Maybe. It honestly depends. Now that the Falcons, this might be a draft day trade. I'm projecting that for what it to be, because if you think about it, it's one thing for the 49ers to go up when they know pretty much with all solid info.
Wait, this just in. The Bears have traded up to get number 4 so they can redraft Mitch Trubisky. That's a very Bears kind of thing, isn't it?
It could happen. It could happen. But I think it's one thing for the 49ers to trade up with all intents and purposes, knowing what the first 2 picks are going to be. Remember Robert Saleh, formerly of the 49ers, so they do have an insider.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence.
Then Zach Wilson will be number 2.
I think that they have insider knowledge, knowing who the first 2 are, and then they can pick whoever they feel comfortable at number 3. It's another thing to be there at number 4 and not know who the 49ers prefer, because again, for everything coming out of 49ers camp, they love Mac Jones. Me personally, Philip, I'm not buying that whatsoever. So it's a matter of.
You don't think they're going to take Mac Jones?
I don't think so. I think that's the one quarterback they won't.
Why would they do misdirection? Why does it matter? Again, if you know that Jacksonville and Urban Meyer is going to take Trevor Lawrence, if you know that the Jets are going to take Zach Wilson, then why the misdirection of what you're going to take at number 3? Are you afraid that the Jets or that Jacksonville is going to go, aha, gotcha? I don't
Well,
see it.
It's possible that the Jets very much say if everything positively works itself out, we still have some time before the draft, and everything works itself out somehow, some way with Deshaun Watson, and he gets traded to New York, which could still happen on an outlier chance. If he were to be moved, then whoever goes up to there, now we're back into a flurry of wait, who are they taking at number 2? Or even if somehow the Jets think a number 4 that maybe the Falcons are doing a misdirection of their own. They don't hold their fate in their own hands. The only ones who do are the Jaguars.
Okay. All right. Hold your answer, but I'm going to ask this. I want the answer when we come back. Super fans, you can jump on this too. 888-368-1580. If you were Urban Meyer and Jacksonville, or you were Robert Saleh and the Jets, or if you were Shanahan and the 49ers, would you give up your first round pick for Deshaun Watson? Would you do this now, or would you stick with who you take in the draft? Let's answer that when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Everybody, Mark Asher, about to tell you about my friends at Valley Medical Weight Loss. I love this company. I've used them. I have friends that have used them. A ton of weight has been lost in a quick amount of time, and the right way. That's the important part. Look, they have 3 Valley locations: Tempe, Glendale, and Phoenix. So one is close to you, and they've been doing this for well over a decade. And right now, you can get your first week, $31.95, absolutely free. Just mention Money Radio or mention The Fanatic, and it is on them. 602-441-3305 or valleymedicalweightloss.com.
You might not know it, but your small business IT systems can leave you and your customers vulnerable. At Affinity Technology, we provide peace of mind by ensuring your computer systems are working and are safe from hackers and outside threats. We solve technology problems for small business. No confusing tech talk or black box setups. If it plugs in, we work with it. Contact us today at atechaz.com. That's atechaz.com. Affinity Technology.
Pack your bags for an amazing trip. And our resort, a short walk away from shopping and fine dining. No. Let's try this again. Honey, I booked the vacation of our dreams. No. Getaway. Yes. Okay, honey, I booked the getaway of our...
Hey, sweetie, I'm home.
Oh, here goes. Hey, hon, I got a surprise for you.
No matter how you say it, your luxury oasis is just a short drive away to Hermosa Beach, California. Relax in one of Hermosa Oasis's beautifully appointed apartment home retreats. Take in our ocean breezes, panoramic sunset views, or stroll along 20 miles of oceanfront strand. All of our beach homes offer fully equipped kitchens, crisp linens, plus beach towels, chairs, and umbrellas, along with cable TVs and wireless internet throughout the home and oceanfront patio. You don't have to wait until summer to bask in the warmth of the California sun. Visit hermosaoasis.com. That's hermosaoasis.com. Save extra with off-season rates. Now anytime is a great time to get away. Visit hermosaoasis.com.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the main event here on 1580 The Fanatic. Coming up on Thursday at 1 p.m., how did the Suns fare against the Jazz? We'll break it down and look forward to the Clippers matchup on the back-to-back. Did the Coyotes pick up the win against the Kings? Diamondbacks continue their Rocky series. How are they doing going into Game 3? I'll update you on the Masters. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the main event Thursday at 1 p.m. on 1580, 99.3 FM at The Fanatic.
The Masters returns to 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic this Wednesday through Sunday.
There it is, a win for the ages.
Listen for the Masters updates throughout the day. Then the Masters Tonight Show each evening at 7 p.m., giving you all the highlights from the day's round.
Is it his time?
Yes! Follow the 85th Masters Tournament Wednesday through Sunday on your home for the Masters. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Today, the Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. You can hear us on 99.3 FM. You can hear us on 95.9 FM, the East Valley, especially right there in Fountain Hills. And hell, if you're on your way up north somewhere, just ride that 95.9 for as far as you can take it. 888-368-1580. That's the Summit Mail Medical text line. And again, let me repeat the question I asked right before the break. If you were Urban Meyer and you had the Trevor Lawrence, or if you were Robert Saleh on the Jets and you were probably going to take Zach Wilson, or if you were Shanahan and who the hell knows who you're going to take, would you give up that number one pick, 1, 2, or 3 for Deshaun Watson right now? Would you do that?
I got to think about it. If I'm a general manager, and my number one goal is job security. You worked your entire life for this opportunity. There's only 32 of these jobs. You get fired. There's no guarantee that you'll be hired again. I think if Ben Rapesberger has taught us anything, you have to say yes.
That was horrible. You know what? It depends. So this is the part where you're at. Hindsight's 20/20 on those things. And as you're looking at Deshaun Watson, you're first thinking, okay, well, if we do this, now we've got the best quarterback that's out there. And but if we do this and he ends up in the old Gray Bar Hotel, that was dumb. And but what if? Wait a second, we pass on this and Trevor Lawrence is a bust, or Zach Wilson is a bust, or whoever the hell else is a bust, and we passed on Deshaun Watson, and oh look, it turns out that was a big conspiracy by the McNair family and that dirtbag lawyer. And then all these, turns out there was nobody, and this was not even a thing, and he was innocent the entire time. Well, now you're going to look bad as a GM of that team. But so, yeah, it would be a tough decision. I'd say it's easier for Urban Meyer than anybody. Trevor Lawrence is a no-brainer.
Sure, right.
Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, I don't know. Some of these other guys, Fields, I don't know.
Yeah, even if they can convict him in civil court, as of right now, there's no criminal charges being pressed. So I think that again, it feels so wrong to put this certain terminology to it, but that helps and aids your pursuit of Deshaun Watson. Whenever you look forward and you project about what could possibly happen, even if he loses every single civil suit possible, at the end of the day, yes, you'll lose a lot in the morality high ground, ethics high ground, but there are ways that he can make reparations. There are ways that he can do things.
Okay, hold on. If he's a dirtbag, I want him to rot in hell. Listen, sure, I've got very strong feelings on if you sexually assault a woman, if you rape a woman, if you touch a child, I think there should be a death penalty for that, because we don't need your DNA on this planet anymore. So if that is what Deshaun Watson did, I want him gone. I want him just gone forever. Reparations, or another word for that is, paying the money in the civil suit. Right. But any of that stuff, I don't care about that. But if it turns out he did these things, I don't want nothing to do with him. Want him gone. Want him gone forever. That's just me. What the NFL does, well, that's them.
I know that's the problem, is that it's the NFL, and it's one of the lone standing things of meritocracy, where the best performers get still paid and have a place in there. If Antonio Brown proved anything, it's that you can still push that to the very furthest extremes and still find a place in the NFL.
Kiss the Cook says, no, I would not give up my pick for Watson. That's taking on a big risk with him facing the possibility of a government-sponsored vacation. And by the way, let's go Suns. That's right. Suns are playing here in a little bit.
In a game that could very well help aid the standings for the number 1 overall seed come playoff time in the Western Conference Finals.
I'm definitely watching that tonight. Tyson Raiders says the Raiders will trade up and make another great pick at number 4. Clelin Ferrell, or better yet, Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, Clelin Ferrell. Yeah, from Clemson. At the time, everybody thought that was a reach. Didn't see him going anywhere near the top. Maybe a late first rounder, maybe, and that would have even had a couple of eyebrows raised. And they made him I think he was the number 4 overall pick that particular draft. Did not work.
Hefty Lefty says, not knowing the outcome of the ongoing investigation, I wouldn't trade those picks. If this is assuming he'll be proved innocent and nothing happens, then 100% trade for him. First round picks have been becoming more and more overvalued for the last few years.
I think
that is a good point, but there's an awful lot of smoke for there to be no fire. So yeah, it would be my instinct to say, I think the pass on that one.
The problem becomes is that if you fall into the same category as me and Jeffrey believe that Trevor Lawrence is a generational player and he really can't fail. He might not live up to the highest of expectations, but he will be a starting caliber quarterback for 10 years, or at least however long Andrew Luck did. And if you go by that assumption, there's only about one other quarterback in this class, just by the law of averages that we've seen in drafts past, where where there is a chance that only one other quarterback will even be a starter worthy caliber quarterback rather than lead a franchise to any pursuit of success. So if at least Deshaun Watson is highly successful, highly productive, and a top 5 talent quarterback, and he's young. It's kind of hard to just throw all that away in light of these civil cases that we still are at a murky, to say the least, starting point.
Got to let it play out. Megatron says Jags, no. Jets, yes. The butt miners, yes. I think he meant 49ers. And by the way, earlier, Phil's impression, was that the guy from Hannibal who had his face eaten off by Hannibal? No, I think he was trying to do Jimmy Stewart, but I can see how you'd make that mistake.
Yeah, very similar.
Just the Tip says, good afternoon, gentlemen. National Beer Day. And Randy, surprisingly, his internet goes out.
We all found that to be the exact same. Yeah.
It's very suspicious, but I'll take him at his word. No, it's not even a conspiracy theory. I believe my friend Randy White would not leave us hanging. He would not lie to us about his internet going the way of the dodo. Hold on here. I got a text from him. Still out. Sorry. Yeah. So I don't know. There might be something to the conspiracy theory.
Maybe he sent that accidentally to you instead of Miss Kim, and he meant to say still out of beer.
He'd be way out of beer by now. Yeah. Blissel Hayes says Matt Ryan is overrated. The Falcons have been building around him for years with very little success in the playoffs. And by the way, I don't think Hairboy is a sure thing that he'll be an excellent NFL quarterback. He's close to a sure thing, but you're right. You never can tell. Navy Brad says, guys, how good do you think Trevor Lawrence will be in the NFL? Any chance he could be a bust? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Every quarterback has that. Ryan Leaf, if you'd have asked a couple of draft experts before that draft, a lot of them would have not only told you that you should draft him ahead of Peyton Manning, but there was no chance that he would bust or that he wouldn't be a top 5 quarterback throughout his career. There are things that, of course, there's outliers and things you just don't know that you don't know. But I still find that Trevor Lawrence.
Things I don't know that I don't know?
Yeah, absolutely. There's the 3 forms of know, Jeffrey. There's the things you know. There's the things you don't know. And then there's the things you don't know that you don't know.
What about the things I don't know that I actually know, but I don't know?
Those exist, but they're far more rare. Anyways, Trevor Lawrence, I think at his best, at his peak, I think that he certainly could be a top 5 quarterback given the time. I'm not saying he's not going to be like a Zion, who's a top 5 or top 20 player within the first him stepping onto the court in the professional leagues. I'm not saying that, but I give him some time, give him like 3 to 6 years in the NFL. I think by that point, for sure, he'll be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Good Cat says, let Antonio Brown go to the Rainy City Bitch Pigeons and destroy that locker room and piss off Russ Wilson some more. I like it. Tyson Raiders says any crime against women or kids should automatically be death. They're not human. Well, you gotta, here's the thing. I agree with you. But look, make sure you're right.
Yeah.
make sure you're absolutely 100% right. Large Marge says, Phil just said the Suns could be number 1 in the West. Karma's a bitch, huh? Huh, Phil?
Oh, number 1 in the West means that they might have a chance to play the Lakers in the first round, and then they'll be out in the first round. Way to go.
Oh, brother, shut your mouth. That ain't true. Phil doesn't do weather, but I got a weather forecast for you. Let's see. Tonight, overnight low of 62 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 90. And that just repeats on through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Cools down next Tuesday, though, to a chilly low of a high of 88. So, Randy will have a more comprehensive weather forecast for you when he comes back.
I think what the people really want to know, Jeffrey, is there any forecast for thunder coming up?
No, there's just a little clouds next Tuesday, but no thunder. No.
Okay.
I mean, if you were to cue that up a little bit better, it would have been a little more clever. If it actually thunder to that part. I'm not going to wait around for you to get to that part.
Fair enough.
I'm just going to stare at you blankly, like most women. Blissful Hayes says, I would pass on giving up first-round pick for Watson for sure. He hasn't been successful playoff quarterback. He puts up good numbers in
What?
regular season, but that doesn't equate to wins.
Oh, come on.
He's not wrong.
He had a
Phil. He's
21
not wrong.
He had a 21-0 lead against the Chiefs, and then that defense finally caved in and let the Chiefs get back into the game. Whenever you have a 21-0 lead, it's very rare that you'll find that the offense was the sole reason of why some team made a comeback.
Fighting Wampa says, so when Phil does the Philism, just become Phil, doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Fighting Wampa, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. That sentence fell apart on you, man. All right, so the Sam Darnold, found himself on the Carolina Panthers. He was very happy, had a party, and he looked extremely happy. So I think he was probably miserable on the Jets, but it's not like
can you blame him?
Carolina Panthers is a better place to be. Doesn't mean that team's really got their crap together
Christian
very well.
McCaffrey will be hands down the number one option that he's ever had on any offense that he's ever played on.
Sure, he's got Robbie Anderson out there and DJ
Played with
Moore,
him before.
and that's fine. I'm not. Listen, I don't think the Carolina Panthers are better off for having Sam Darnold come to town. I really don't.
I completely disagree with you.
I think the giant bobblehead, talk about an overrated pick right there. He is the 6th consecutive first-round draft pick the Jets have traded away. Who has been successful after that? Let's take a look. In 2013, the Jets picked Sheldon Richardson, and then they traded him to the Seahawks. I haven't heard of him since. In 2014, Calvin Pryor. They took him in the first round, and then they sent him over to the Browns. Haven't really heard of him since. In 2015, Leonard Williams. They got him 6 overall, and they put him over there on the Giants after that.
He's doing really well with the Giants now.
Okay, so there's one that's okay. 2016, linebacker Darren Lee, and then they traded him to the Chiefs. I don't recall seeing him on the Chiefs lately. Then there in 2017, Jamal Adams. They took him and then sent him over to the Seahawks. And I think that was the one that was very happy to go to the Seahawks.
Yes,
In fact,
yes, he was.
The coach was like, I don't think he's going to be happy over there. Turns out he was. And then in 2018, Sam Darnold. So there you go. 6 consecutive first-round picks the Jets traded away. So I'm not that enthused about the bobblehead. I don't think the Carolina Panthers should be that enthused either.
Jeffrey, keep in mind though, I mean, you just listed Jamal Adams. He's right there. He's proof that was a successful pick, just a poor situation. Jamal Adams is still tremendous, and he puts that defense in a much more respectable light. You saw the impact.
My opinion of Sam Darnold has nothing to do with the ability to pick first-round picks by the Jets. That was just for reference, but Sam Darnold ain't that good. And of the ones they traded away, we've listed one that was pretty good.
Jamal Adams is the second, and I think Sam Darnold will lift.
Sam Darnold's not one.
I think he's going to lift the Panthers to a playoff spot and second place.
If they do, it's on the back of Christian McCaffrey if he stays healthy. It's not going to have nothing to do with the bobblehead. It's all going to be about Christian McCaffrey, and you know it. All old Sam Darnold has to do now is hand him the ball. What more does he need to do?
No, he has a lot of offensive pieces. I think the number one complaint that the Carolina Panthers, part of why they got Sam Darnold instead of sticking with Teddy Bridgewater, is that Teddy Bridgewater didn't have a lot of arm strength to fully utilize DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson on the outside. Those are two very fast wide receivers who were more utilized for route running, which is nice. But whenever you have their deep playability paired with Christian McCaffrey, who offers so much versatility out of the running back spot, I think that's where Sam Darnold will now finally have weapons to play with instead of just a Robbie Anderson who can be shut down.
We shall see. You know what? Remember this conversation, and when the football season starts, maybe we'll have some lunch bets on the Carolina Panthers play. Baker's Cocky Hen says Jets were better when their coach was licking toes on YouTube.
Oh gosh,
oddly, and I don't like Rex Ryan, but he ain't wrong. Megatron says Jamal Adams was all pro on the Jets. The others were trash on the Jets. Yes, we did set aside Jamal Adams as being better, but also how stupid are the Jets trading him away? I don't think they were stupid to trade away Sam Darnold. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we got Big George's sports history. We got some Wheel of Sports action. and other assorted things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Contractors, are you missing out on jobs due to lack of bonding? When your current bonding holds you back, call Arizona's #1 bond managers at Constructors Bonding. They have the market relationships and expertise to take you where you want to go. Serving all types of contractors of any size, licensed in all states. When you need better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding, 602-432-5929, or visit cbialliance.com.
Everybody, Mark Asher, back to tell you about my friends at Valley Medical Weight Loss. I love this company. I've used them. I have friends that have used them. A ton of weight has been lost in a quick amount of time, and the right way. That's the important part. Look, they have 3 Valley locations, Tempe, Glendale, and Phoenix. So one is close to you, and they've been doing this for well over a decade. And right now you can get your first week, $31.95, absolutely free. Just mention Money Radio or mention The Fanatic, and it is on them. 602-441-3305 or valleymedicalweightloss.com.
AZ Preps is a 2-hour in-depth look at the Arizona prep sports scene. Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Covering all aspects of the Arizona Interscholastic Association. AZ Preps 365 focuses on all Arizona high school sports, student athletes, news, and notes from around Arizona. Join your host, Jose Garcia, Brett Quintine, and James Mello as they cover the prep sports scene from A to Z. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings from 8 to 10 on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
These last few months have reinforced just how unpredictable the world is increasingly becoming. Right now, we're seeing market highs in the face of economic lows. Professional investors are wisely positioning their portfolios to protect against possible market downturns while still benefiting from the current bull market. So should you. Register for Online Trading Academy's complimentary 3-hour class, Protection from the Election. This new class will explore strategies to protect wealth from instability and capture profits during both bull and bear cycles. Call 844-877-2337 to reserve your complimentary seat in Protection from the Election. Space is limited and all COVID safety measures will be followed. Classes are available in Scottsdale, Chandler, or Peoria. Call 844-877-2337 or text OTA to 31996. Again, call 844-877-2337 or text OTA to 31996.
Dale Hellestrey here to talk to you about my friend Mike Sheehan with the Sheehan Real Estate Group and My Home Group. If you're in the market for buying or selling a home, he's going to tell you what you already know. Supply is low, demand is high. That's where the Sheehan Group comes in to make sure you don't settle on the first home, but find that perfect home. For buying or selling, give them a call at Sheehan Group, 602-740-4818 for your real estate needs. They're your teammate in real estate.
The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And I'm very excited to watch the Suns tonight. I'll be flipping back and forth between them and the Coyotes. Coyotes taking on the Kings, Suns taking on the Jazz. We'll see what sort of situation the Diamondbacks are in. They just started their game against the Rockies. So a lot going on tonight. That's good. I love the time of year where all the sports are happening.
I'm so excited to watch the Suns tonight.
Oh, shut up, Phil. Why do you got to be such a Phil hole? Huh? Why do you got to be like that?
Listen, just because they lose tonight, I'm not gonna be extra obnoxious.
Just because they win tonight,
obnoxious.
I'm gonna be completely obnoxious, you little bandwagoning turd. 888-368-1580. Let me just read a couple of texts real fast, and then I got to get to this Major League Baseball stuff. Large Marge says, Suns, Diamondbacks, Coyotes, schedule makers must have known it was National Beer Day. Go Connor, not Connor, Conor. Think Fargo, eh? Hey, Connor. President Wallet says, anybody talking rape with Deshaun Watson or just unwanted sexual advances? I'm only asking because I don't keep up on current events. Well, here's the thing about that. I don't know where the line would be as far as the criminal charges that could come up against Deshaun Watson. Again, and that's why I always find it's like, why did they get a lawyer and try to settle for money? If it's rape, if it's sexual assault, it should have gone right to the the law enforcement first. But if it's some unwanted advances that were inappropriate, that is when you go, I guess, to the lawyer for, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know why these ladies didn't go to the cops first. I get it. He's an influential person in that town. People might have been scared, but with the rush of everybody saying, okay, let's talk about this. Busby? Really? I don't know. Again, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut on this until things, become more
detailed, more concrete,
apparent.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Wilson Contreras. Let's not have a bench clearing brawl for a guy who leans into pitches when he gets hit. He's leaning into pitches. An hour earlier, he leaned into a pitch and got hit. And then a little bit later, he gets hit. He starts going towards the pitcher with the bat in his hand. Did anybody talk about that? You don't start walking up with the bat in the hand. He was just making noise to make noise. Why? Because evidently he doesn't know how to hit. He just wants to take a base. He doesn't know how to hit. That guy is a punk ass bitch. That's what I say. Wilson Contreras is you get pretending to be mad that you got hit by a pitch. You know what he's mad about? Well, that was one I didn't lean into. Guess what? Don't crowd the box. All right. Don't crowd the plate. Oh, I was so mad when I watched this, and I don't know why I care. I don't know why I care. I don't even like the Cubs. I don't even care about the Brewers. So there's this bench clearing brawl where no punches were thrown. And everybody sort of stood around and held people back.
There's a bunch of hold me back, hold me back, hold me back, hold me back.
But I mean, I don't know, man. That guy just needs to shut the hell up. And now they got to start throwing him out. You know what I'm saying? They got to start. Shut up. You got hit by a pitch because you're right there. It makes me mad. He got what he had coming to him. That's what I think. He got what he had coming to him.
Have you ever leaned for a pitch, Jeffrey? Can you take a hit?
Never. I'm trying to hit the damn ball. I'm not trying to take a base. That was the thing with Eric Cohen, who would intentionally and proudly take a walk in slow pitch softball, trying to help his team. He justified it. I could never condone that. The other way, I remember Coach from Cheers, famous for leaning into pitches, and he did that so many times to help his team out. He ended up stupid because he took so many balls to the head.
Right.
No, I would never lean into a pitch. I would never get hit on purpose. I mean, that's just about as dumb as you can get. That just shows that you don't have a bat. Hit the damn ball. Play the game. I get it, but still, don't start whining and crying if you get hit by a pitch. And by the way, it wasn't even on purpose. But don't whine and cry and make a bunch of noise that you got hit by a pitch when you're the guy who's famous for leaning into him. I'm done with Wilson Contreras, that's for sure. And by the way, I am done with these new uniforms for the Boston Red Sox.
Oh my gosh, yes.
What in the hell? They look like Peeps.
They're not the Warriors. What is this?
They look like Peeps. It is. Boston's got these weird yellow and blue uniforms there. Now I get it. It was a connect with the city kind of thing. I don't get it. I don't even understand how that helps you connect with the city. But Nike, listen, it has nothing to do with the city. People are saying, why are the Red Sox doing these new blue, yellow uniforms? Money. They want you to buy all the extra stuff.
This is my personal gripe with sports. This is the
that doesn't connect you with a city.
No, it doesn't. This is my number one agitator. I hate it when we have 17 different uniforms and they don't even adhere to the color scheme. At least whenever the Seahawks, they do the highlighter stuff, at least they have that color in there. It makes no sense whenever I'm watching the Suns and all of a sudden they're like brown or they're yellow or whatever, or the Mavericks come out and they're like red. Or at least like the only cool one is the Miami Heat whenever they do the Vice colors. And that one, I'm like, okay, that at least makes sense. Every other one, why am I watching the Utah Jazz be orange?
All I know is I just don't want my eyeballs assaulted. That's why I don't like to watch the Seahawks. But these jerseys are ridiculous. Okay, now those are a couple of things that agitated me, and I was looking forward to having fun talking to Randy about. He wasn't here, but so I had to just have my own fun, I guess. Phil's here too.
I was going to say,
anyway, don't take it personally. This is something that does make me happy, and I hope it keeps going for years to come. When the Los Angeles Angels fans start throwing trash cans and stuff at the Astros.
Yes.
Loved it. Now, don't get yourself arrested. Don't hurt somebody by throwing legitimate trash cans, but that somebody threw an inflatable on the field. I thought that was hilarious.
God, I love it.
Don't stop the entire game from going, but yelling Astros suck and you guys cheaters and playing that music by that little redneck country girl about cheating. Anything you can throw at the Astros, they deserve it. Give it to them. Keep it going. Somebody had a sign out there that says, yo, you guys need an extra buzzer? And another sign said, Astros can't hang. Another sign said, had a funny sign plan for this week, but the Astros stole it.
We condone and endorse pettiness. I love it so much.
Yes. And because the Astros are upset about this, I hope it happens for years and years to come. Do other teams cheat? Hell yeah, they do. Have they been caught yet? Nope. But when they do, they're next. And I think that the Astros are getting exactly what they have coming to them. And it makes me happy to see.
Absolutely. The Astros were the ones who got off scot-free during a COVID prolonged and what have you season. They were the ones who got off, and now that really agitated me. I'm glad that we didn't forget.
Baseball fans do not forget. It's fun. And listen, don't interfere with the game. Don't hurt anybody, but keep it up. Baseball fans everywhere, keep it up. All right, before we run out of time, it is time to appease my friend Big George with On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1969, Bill Singer became the first major league reliever to officially record a save, a brand new stat that started with the 1969 season in the Los Angeles Dodgers 3-2 win over the Cincinnati Reds in the season opener at Crosley Field in Cincinnati. The Singer throwing machine did not allow a hit, hurling 3 scoreless innings en route to saving Don Drysdale's victory. Back to me, Jeffrey. Yeah, it's the first time they had that to save. Trivia question for you. Who had the most saves in history?
Was it
Jesus, but he had like 2,000 years of head start.
Oh, geez.
There's another one I really wanted Randy here for.
I'm so glad you had that pre-planned.
Hefty Lefty says, what's this about holes being filled? What are you talking about? Let's now move on to the next thing, which we don't get to do very often, but I have some good stuff for it. So let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now to spin the wheel of sports. And that way we'll know what to talk about next. Oh, okay. Yeah. Phil actually emailed this to me the other day. I brought my attention to it, and wow, I don't know what the hell's going on, but over the weekend, retired Boston Celtics legend Paul Pierce was live on the Instagram. And he wasn't just hanging out like, hey fam, what's up? Oh yeah, hanging out, just having a good day. No, he was at a house party with some sort of hookers, exotic dancers, dancing, smoking, drinking, and near naked ladies. And yeah, this kind of thing's not unprecedented for Instagram Live, but it was way too much for ESPN. And of course, they fired him. Why? Because they're owned by Disney. And so they canned him. And so then NBA Countdown, the show he was on, The Jump, no, you'll never see him on there again. But he doesn't care. He's just like, hey, I'm rich and I don't care. I'm happy. All right, look at me. I don't have to go to work.
For me, the surprising thing was that he played during he was doing it while playing poker. I mean, that's just, as a person who plays, it's very distracting whenever you got ladies either massaging you and nearly naked, and then they're going around in the back and they're doing the chicken wing dipping sauce, over there. It's just it was.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, well,
but
good.
Don't show me. Don't show me.
Good for you. That's all I can say.
Well, listen, he may have been playing, doesn't mean he was winning. So anyway, yeah, Paul Pierce, and then of course some I don't know, some company offered him $250,000 if he would do NBA commentary while there were strippers and dancers all around him all the time because they loved it so much.
Cam Soda offered to give him that job. Yeah.
So dreams do come true, I guess, Paul Pierce. Spin the wheel there, Phil. Oh, this is a good thing. Now, I know that the Washington football team has a dirtbag for an owner, but they've got a good guy as a coach. And as part of that, They have hired Natalia Dorantes. She's going to serve as the coordinator of football programs, making her the first Latina that will fill that role in the NFL. So congratulations to her. It's a nice milestone, yet another one that has been passed. And she's also the third woman to even have that job to begin with for any NFL team. So what that is she's going to work closely coordinating schedules with various departments and stuff. It's a big deal in the NFL. So of course she'll be working closely also with Ron Rivera. So congratulations to her. I thought it was a nice thing.
No, it is. I got to tell you, once Ron Rivera got that job, it is just a difference in polarities right there, where Ron Rivera is one of the most respected guys, one of the most beloved guys in all of football.
As long as he can keep the dirtbag that owns it at an arm's length.
Absolutely. And I think that's part of what he signed on for whenever he got in. He said, this is not going to be acceptable. This type of culture will not be.
Surprised he took the job.
I know.
Yeah.
He certainly had better offers, other teams that I thought would work better for him, but you got to give him all the props in the world. Got a team to the playoffs in his first year while actively battling cancer during the year, and is making real changes to a system and culture and team that really needed it.
Yeah, in spite of Dan Snyder, it's been nice to see Ron Rivera go there, thrive, and help start to change the culture. It kind of reminds me when racist dirtbag Sterling, owner of the Clippers, that all went down. It's okay to root for a team and but be against the stupidity and horribleness of an owner. I know that the financial benefit of that team goes to the owner, but from coach down, you can at least take heart. I'm really just disappointed though in the NFL that Dan Snyder now has complete control of that football team.
From everything I've been able to forecast is that the thought is that he bought all that just so he could sell it easier. There's thought around.
Blissful Hayes says, as far as Paul Pierce is concerned, where's the problem with what he was doing? There's no problem. If there were drugs involved, and of course they've got these nearly naked ladies. Now I get it. As long as everything was on the up and up and on the clean, nothing's wrong with that.
I don't think it was on the clean.
Right. That's the problem. So that's an image problem for the ESPN and the Disney, who, probably aren't into that kind of drug use and strippers and hookers and stuff. So it's just,
those big
what are you talking to, Phil?
I'm having a party over here like Paul Pierce.
No. You're not allowed to party like Paul Pierce in the control room.
Oh,
not at all.
It's the end of the show, Jeffrey. Anything goes.
I'm just going to turn off my camera now. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this edition of the Daily Blender. Randy should be back tomorrow, and we'll see you at 3 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Coins and precious metals never sounded so good.